last left off.
Yeah, what?
Having defeated Arcroth and his minions, Golden Tomer remained close to the Honeypot Inn to help with wounded, as well as, clearing damaged materials, bricks and walls and wood and things knocked over. Meanwhile, Percy, Patch, and Leon made their way to the docks, where Percy and Patch planned to take a little gander at the rod itself that Arcroth had placed in the ground, while Leon had a little something different in mind. To access the somewhere underwater, Percy turned Patch into a giant octopus. So Patchtopus was born and could go investigate the seafloor underneath where the ship had sunk and the rod that had punched through the hull of the ship hopefully lay. However, upon investigating, all he found down there was some wreckage of the ship and a perfect hole that was in the exact diameter of what the rod looked to be, and seemed to go down as far as his dark vision could see, and past. So that's all he got there. Meanwhile, Leon, though, also dove beneath the waves, but his purpose was to search for Councilman Batius's body, which it took him a little while, but he eventually did find. Dragging that to the surface, and then with some help from Percy and Patch, eventually up onto the docks, Leon pulled out his lute and cast the somber melody, I can't speak tonight, the somber melody to enact a Speak with Dead spell, in which he asked 5 very interesting questions and got answers to. What kind of deal did you make with Chrestian, or Arcroth as his true name is? He wanted chaos, I wanted power. Question 2, where are the roots coming from? The ship brings them from Ravensbarrow. Question 3, what do you know of the roots' effects? Nothing. They give me power if I help them. Question 4, one of the very important ones. Who else are you working with? Lord Batius's body answered, Lord O'Rourke of Ravensbarrow. And then the 5th question, are there any resources of yours we can use to get revenge? And the answer was, the empty ones, no. And that is where we left off. Yep. So, currently, you 3 are still down at the docks. Gold and Tomer, you were at the Honeypot Inn. Where are you? Like, you inside there helping? Are you outside? I mean, what are you doing?
From what I understood, me and Tomer went back out to the street, or specifically I did, to continue along the trail of carnage to assist the wounded and give medical attention where needed. And Tomer stayed behind to more or less to help board up the now missing wall of the honeypot.
Okay. So, that's where you guys are actually on Dock 5 dealing with this. So that's physically where you guys are. I'd leave it to you now. What are you doing?
Stuff.
Well, are we done with the underwater shit?
Yeah, couldn't get to it. So.
I would like to be done with the underwater shit.
Yes.
I'm not much of a swimmer, though have to be when we have to be, right?
Well, I guess we're going back home.
Head on back to recruit.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna cast with my last spell slot remaining, which is a 4th level spell slot, invisibility, so all 3 of us are now invisible.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna cast teleport. I was gonna be so fucking pissed.
And then you're gonna start making your way back to the honeypot? Is that right? Okay. What about Gold and Tomer? Are you continuing efforts, or?
Yeah, I'm continuing my work. I have no reason to stop.
Approximately, you estimate halfway there, based on previous excursions between the docks and the honeypot inn. It's been about 20 minutes, and you figure you're about halfway there, pretty close. All of you, starting with you 3, feel this pulse that seems to kind of ripple out, coming from the direction of the docks. It blows through you. Oh, about 30 seconds later, not even. Tomer and Gold feel it as well. I need everyone to make wisdom saves.
Oh boy, he's gonna kill me now.
Ooh, that's a big number. Oh wow, okay. I
Let's
actually
take
didn't
my
roll
new
garble.
math rock.
Yes, you have birthday math rocks for Gold.
That is an 18.
Okay,
14.
7.
you got a 14,
7.
9.
and Tomer.
18. Or can I get his character sheet, by the
Yeah,
way?
it's like we don't have
I don't
it.
have it, actually.
Can we just NPC
You
him?
can go on D&D Beyond, you can actually go into the campaign and you can view his sheet.
Let me see about that.
Yeah, even as not the DM, you can view it. You just can't manipulate anything.
I guarantee it's about a 14.
Okay. So,
He's got +2, so plus 14 would be correct.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So
So I
you
rolled a
got-
12.
okay. So, everyone who got under a 15,
Oh
God
boy.
you are frightened and you have no idea why and what the source is. You are just
Yeah. Well,
frightened.
at least
period.
no one can see me.
So you are under the status effect of that, which with everything that goes along with it. And because you don't know the source,
Mhm.
and you can't move closer to the source, technically you're almost frozen in place. You're not paralyzed or incapacitated by any means, but you're just like, you don't know where to run.
So what you're saying is, I'm not paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you?
Yes.
God damn it.
Oh, shit. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a D6 inspiration that you can use anytime during this game, but it ends at this game.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I gotta
that-
lighten the mood somehow, guys.
So you can use that to add a D6 to something, because that was fucking funny. I love that.
Thank you.
Speaking of inspiration, at the end of night, we will be everyone will be getting some inspiration, especially Patchtopus for his consistency and the absolute of the patch and just going with that. So everyone will be getting some inspiration points at the end that you can add to your pools. Okay, but back on track.
I will say, it doesn't look
So-
like we can access Tomer, so we might just have to NPC him.
That's fine. We can do that. So, that first wave, as it roils through the city, radiating out from the port, you all feel this wave of energy go through you. Everyone who's outside, which you said you'd gotten outside,
Mhm.
so all of you, notice it's almost like a slight tremor. It's enough to give a little bit of a shake to everything, but no building. It's not strong enough that any buildings topple. But you definitely see some mortar, maybe get some cracks in it here and there. I mean, it caused a little bit of damage, but nothing serious.
There are other people around. Were they affected, or was it just us?
At this point in time in the day, it is still early in the morning. It's probably about like 5 in the morning
Oh,
by
it's
now.
morning right now?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we started assault at like 2.
Yeah, you started assault
Oh,
like
that's
2,
right.
and then
Fair.
there was moving back and forth and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like 5 in the morning. There are people that are getting up to go to work and stuff like that. And actually, along the pathway that you three are taking, it's the same path that you've gone back and forth that had devastation wrought by the Rudderkin.
See, I thought the town was destroyed. We were like, well, gotta get to
Well,
my shop.
It was more of a swath.
Unlocks the door and just falls down.
Closes the door.
Yeah.
Not today.
But no, it definitely, along that path, there's some people that are like, what the hell's
Okay,
going
so
on?
it wasn't just us affected by the frightening from the looks
Oh,
of it.
no. And there are people around that you see, commoners.
I
And
cast
there-
shit and piss your pants.
And many of them do. But again, they're kind of frozen in place. The ones that failed. There are a couple that actually seem to be like, what the hell's going on? And they seem fun. What are you guys doing now?
I can't
Oh,
move, right? So
Chilling, apparently.
Okay.
Gold managed to still himself and remain calm in the situation, so he's going to advance back towards the source of the tremor.
Okay, so you're starting to head back.
Yeah, I'm starting
Okay.
to head
So we got
towards
head
danger.
back to
Okay.
I do
About-
not have the resources for that if I had the capability to move.
Okay, now, as you are going back, Gold, after this wave hits you, You kind of shake your head and start to walk. You find yourself in a memory.
That's not good.
You're at the edge of River's home, huddled behind an overturned cart with your father. The entire village is on fire. People lay all over the ground, guts torn out, heads ripped off, limbs pulled away from their torsos, and a demon standing there at the center. Your father looks at you and says, "Run." Jumps up, runs out from cover, fires arrows, and begins to draw the demon's attention. For a moment, you're frozen in place. You watch as your father engages this demon. The demon doesn't even seem to care about his arrows. He raises his hand and plants a rod into the ground that soon seems to bury itself down underneath. Then he begins walking with purpose straight towards your father. Reaches out and grabs him, hoists him up in the air. You see your father, his head turn over towards where you still remain hidden. And he mouths the words once more, "Run." And this time, it snaps you out of your stasis. You begin to bolt into the forest, not looking behind you, but you hear your father scream. And then you feel eyes on you, and as if something's following you, giving chase. You run as hard as your legs can handle, dodging in and amongst trees. And then you feel a pulse. You snap out of it. You are back in Kyber. You've been walking for the last 5 minutes, almost on autopilot. You're going back towards the docks. You don't realize, okay, wait a minute. I was just out front of the honeypot. This thing hit and I kind of shook my head and started walking. But you don't remember that walking. 5 more minutes pass as you start making your way towards the source. Another pulse hits all 3 of you.
You know what? I'm
Seconds
just gonna
later,
sit on the
it hits
ground
you.
this time.
Oh, yeah,
Another
second
save?
pulse is hitting us?
Yep, I need wisdom saves from everyone.
Jesus Christ. Whoever that is.
I have a medal.
22.
Okay.
17.
I'm gonna sit on the ground.
I'm guessing that's not very high.
Big fat 8.
Okay. And we'll assume Tomer NPC. He's still in the honeypot inn helping.
Man, these
We're
pulses.
role-playing Oscar's dice, so it's an automatic pass. no
Everyone
matter
who got
what.
under a 15?
Yeah.
You are now exhausted. You have 1 level of exhaustion.
Cool.
It's close.
In addition to your frightening condition, if you had that.
What on earth is going on?
I'm exhausted and frightened. That's what's going on.
Patch, you shake off the effects.
Yeah.
Gold, you shake off the effects.
Do I have anything for this? I guess even if I
Patch.
did, I wouldn't have any slots for it. Hey, that's me.
As you kind of grit and bear down against the weight of this pulse that slams into you, you're locked in a memory.
Wow.
Or is it a memory? As before, you see a vision of a rod. It is pulsating, covered with the roots. And something enters your mind, a thought. Something akin to purpose or destiny, or fate, if you would call it. You feel like you are somehow linked to this. the outcome, good or bad, you feel may be determined by your choices. Staring at this rod, you can not only see the evil within it, but you see possibility. As the rod itself is pure chaos, it is neither good nor evil. It is just
Chaos.
it. Perhaps there is
You said I saw evil in it. Correct? Did I understand?
there is evil in it, but it is, in itself is not evil.
It's
It
whoever's
is pure
controlling it.
chaos. And therefore the outcome, you feel like perhaps I can affect it. You snap out of it. Oh, Gold.
Hi.
You are locked in a memory yet again as you continue to walk. Once again, you are running through the forest. You are still being chased, you assume, by the demon that destroyed River's home. You finally get to the cliff that overlooks the ocean, separating Korstal from Tor. You stand at the edge of the cliff. You look over it. You hear your pursuer. Branches crashing as the large form of the demon cuts through trees, not even avoiding them, just bringing them down in his path. As he breaks out into the clearing, he sees you standing at the end of the cliff. You lock eyes. His intense gaze fixates on you. You see the drool, salivation of anticipation for him wanting your blood. You know it's over. There's only one possibility. You leap off of the cliff and begin to fall the hundreds of feet from the face of this plateau that is this portion of Korstal where River's home is located, down to the ocean. As you are falling, you see the demon standing at the top of the cliff with a smile on his face. And as you fall, you feel that second pulse. But the memory doesn't stop just yet. You continue to fall until you hit the water, and you are now unconscious, and you snap out of it once again. You've continued to walk. You now about 300 feet away. You see down the street Patch, Leon, and Percy.
No.
Percy on the ground.
No, we're in.
Did you pass your last check?
Did you cast on all of them?
He did.
Yeah, fourth level spell.
Yeah, I was like, he can't
You
see
see
none of us.
nothing.
I was like, I can't see shit.
You continue to walk down. You three actually see Gold approaching.
Wow, it's a gold.
You also all notice as that second wave rolled through everything. It was
Is this
strong.
like visible energy, or is it just like a
No.
feeling?
It's a feeling. It's
a
think of
fart,
like a
silent but
shockwave.
deadly.
Think of like kind of like a shockwave. You can kind of see it,
Like the dust and stuff.
yeah,
that they put.
but you can't see the actual energy. And it,
But you can like see a wave of dust
Yeah.
and smaller
yes,
debris.
it's just not like a clear visible like.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a Volkswagen Beetle coming at me, you know? it's kind of like a semi-invisible force, but the effects that it has do produce something that is noticeable.
I'm gonna see Gold. I assume I see him.
Yep.
I say, oh, hey, Gold.
Well, but hold on.
Whoop.
As you looked at all this, you noticed that second pulse was stronger than the first.
Uh-oh.
Now, not just mortars, cracks in mortar have occurred. Some of the weaker, already destroyed, or already damaged buildings from the first pulse, especially as you look back towards the docks, have begun to crumble and fall. There are some around you, but not too many. But back further towards the docks, closer to the source of this pulse, you can see that it looks like more buildings and more the closer you get towards the epicenter.
And because there's a shockwave, we can kind of understand which direction it's coming from.
You have a clear understanding.
So
of
the
where it is.
fear technically would just stop them from moving closer to the dock, not away from the dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can.
Well, the fear, because you don't know what you're afraid of. You're just in general. It's like a fear of the unknown.
So we can or cannot move. Is the important word.
You cannot move just yet.
Okay.
If you're still affected by the frightened condition.
Sit on
Your
the
cut
ground.
screen. Sorry.
Noting.
Okay. So, for those of you that can move,
Must be
Hi.
nice.
okay, what are you doing?
I'd be continuing to head towards the epicenter.
Okay.
See if I can't do anything at this point. Also trying to channel into the tattoo. there.
Into the tattoo? Okay. So, as you are walking, two things happen. One, you can't, run in a direction, but you're not immobile.
I got a 22 on
You're
my
not
last
re-
save. Am I good now, or am I still unable to move? Because
You're not you don't have level exhaustion.
Okay.
You still are frightened.
I
Okay.
thought you said he broke out of it.
No, I did not. You still are frightened. You can still physically move. You just can't move from your general location because you don't know which way to go. You're afraid of every direction around you.
So what you're saying is I can bust it down in place.
You could sit there and do some breakdance moves and shit like that. You're all good for that. You're basically just in place.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're walking past, you come within, although you don't necessarily know, within arm's reach of these three. You can reach out to Gold. You're not afraid of him. You know that's not the source. You just don't know
Gold.
why.
It would be a shame if I wildly swung my longsword.
Splat.
I only have 19 HP, please.
I guess I'm still afraid, so I'm just kind of chilling.
Okay.
I guess if I don't notice him, I would just keep going.
Okay.
Gold. I reach out to him.
You do. Okay. Do you actually say his name when you do?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear your name in Leon's voice,
Leo,
and
I
then
am
all of a sudden
invisible.
feel a hand on your arm.
I am invisible, Gold.
what are you doing here?
I do not know.
We're just chilling at the moment.
Yeah, all three of us are invisible.
Yeah, there was a super scary shockwave that just ripped through here.
Scary.
Yeah.
I keep getting haunted by visions. Are you guys experiencing anything like this?
Actually, since you mentioned it, yes, I did have one of those just a moment ago.
It's got to be the rod. We need to stop it somehow.
We tried to get to it, but it unfortunately was at the bottom of the water in a hole that was exactly shaped to fit that rod, farther down than I could get to. So reaching it doesn't seem to be an option at the moment. I assume that's where these shockwaves are coming from. I can kind of see where it's coming from, but I don't think that there's anything that we're going to be able to do about it.
Then why? At that point, we just need to get people out of here. We need to go.
I think that's
I would love to go.
a good
That
decision,
would,
but
that
I'm
would
just
mean so
paralyzed
much
by
to me.
fear at the moment.
Can I do anything to force them to move?
What
Try-
are you
try
going to
seeing
try
us.
to do?
Pick me up, Patch's leg.
I certainly can't pick them up.
You can pick me up.
I could attempt to.
Patch
Can
is
you-
tiny.
Okay.
And
While you're having
the
Well, he's not tiny,
invisibility.
but
While you're
he's
having
small
this
enough. You're
discussion,
I am the invisible.
okay, you can now see all three of them.
Hi there.
Well-
While you're
you're
having
cut
this
off
discussion,
invisibility.
as soon as the invisibility ends,
Another.
a third pulse
Oh, wait.
What?
I'm
goes
just gonna
through.
prepare myself and
I need
lay in the
wisdom
fetal
saves
position.
from everyone.
Fucking. Yeah, that
Dude,
sounds
no
lovely.
way. That's my highest roll yet.
I got a 10.
12.
22.
Literally, it's not worth it.
I just keep rolling really good.
I know
These gold
damage,
dice
isn't
are
it?
working for gold.
Must be nice.
Well, that's why you got them as a birthday gift, because they're cool as hell.
They are gold.
Yes, and they are gold. And that's why I thought, hey, gold.
Well, my dice are not working as well, so 10.
Is there
Okay.
such thing as patch dice?
I got a 12.
Okay,
It's just fucking like patches of jeans.
so
Oh god.
85d6.
this is the strongest wave yet. And as it flows through you, you feel it in your heads. What did you get?
I got a 22.
I did.
12.
10.
All three of you take 11 points of psychic damage.
Well, I'm glad I passed, because that would have knocked my ass unconscious.
That was the first
Anyone
damage
who-
I took from this whole encounter.
Anyone who wants to, give me an intelligence check, straight intelligence check.
Would it make sense for me to roll on that?
Anyone who wants to.
12.
Your dice have failed me.
13.
3.
Let's see. Intelligence is...
They had to do a nat 1 eventually.
Yeah. It just to balance it out so you can do nat 20s later.
Exactly.
3.
Okay.
We ain't heard shit.
It's fine.
I heard, I think, a 13.
Yeah.
Okay, Leon. You realize, oh shit, if that affected us, what about everybody else in the city?
Yeah, that killed like 3 dudes.
It'd be a real shame if I could, if I
Not-
wasn't able to help anyone by moving.
Not only that, and this, as the pain clears your head, you think of that. But you all also notice, as strong as that wave was, now almost every building near where you are has tumbled to the ground. And as you look back towards more of the, away from the docks, towards the city center itself, there are many buildings that have fallen down. There are some that survived, and it looks like more and more survived further away. But you look towards the docks, in that direction, everything is flattened.
Oh no,
It is
Snoop.
Persephone,
Forget about this.
I need another wisdom save from
I
you.
could never forget about Snowball.
Oh, yeah.
You
Snoop.
sure about that?
Yeah, what'd you get?
3?
Come with me.
Time to
I
make
got-
a new character.
I feel like I
Die,
got
IRL.
Come with me.
You're a gunshot.
Cocky.
Just old yeller Jen.
Anyway, you have anyone else that's looking for a
Back
D&D
in my
campaign?
day.
Well, shit, I gotta get engaged again.
Bummer, I know. What a downer.
Oh, well, I was due for a new.
Yeah, she was getting old.
Oh my god.
Everyone gets older.
No,
No?
not Peter Pan.
He
You're right, I should
technically
just
gets
go to
older, he
Neverland.
just doesn't age. He's still been around for a certain number of time. He just does, his body doesn't age.
No, that's like a language semantic thing.
Yeah, it's
Which
just
I hate.
interpretation.
He still existed for a set amount of time.
No, he didn't.
That's incorrect, sir.
Nope. It didn't
But
happen.
does Neverland
Because it's never happened.
have like the effect of preserving youth, or does time simply not flow in Neverland? Because in that case, he does not get older. I don't
I'd
know.
have to see the effects. Like
I
if
haven't
plants
watched
grow.
Peter Pan,
Obviously, there's
so,
plants, so plants have to grow. They didn't just spawn in.
What if they did?
No, you fucking transplanted
It's magic.
every goddamn fern and tree.
It could have been.
It is Neverland,
But
so
we'd
it
have
never
to have a
happened.
couple more facts. But anything that exists is inherently getting older. But there may not be aging.
We're off to Neverland. 20. Fuck me.
Okay,
Ah!
bend over, Leon.
No.
Gold says with his
Every single
dagger.
time I do a test roll, I roll above like 10. 13, 17, 16, and then every time I roll for anything in the game, it's below 5.
Anytime I roll for something that matters, it tends to be low, and all this extra shit I'm like great at.
Your average roll is like 19 to 20. So far.
So far, yeah, it's been 17.
You've been role-playing
19 on that
Tomer
last
too
one.
well.
Yeah, I just gotta say I'm playing as Oscar and it works.
I just auto-pass every roll.
Can I just take a 20? I'll roll higher, I swear.
We're still playing D&D, right? I kid.
I'll take a 20 because it's probably lower than what I was going to roll anyway.
When your average statistical outcome actually is a 20.
He's not even here to appreciate me razzing him.
I miss the boy. He hasn't been in like 3 months.
What?
How long has it been since we've had Tomer here?
Ah, yeah.
Doing great, guys.
Yeah, you're not dead immediately.
Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, of all the saving
The
throws
yet
to
part
fail,
of that sentence
wisdom's
was
a bad
concerning.
Oh, yeah.
word. Intelligence is a little worse, but
Now, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
I'm
Paralyzed
gonna
with fear.
continue being on the floor.
In fact, actually, everyone now, if you are frightened, it seems like after that pain, the feeling of fear stopped and kind of the fight or flight response kicked in.
Yo, dude, half the city's leveled. I'm no longer afraid. Let's go.
You know what? It
Well,
would
it's
have
more
got me
like
already.
it's more like an
fine.
I
adrenaline
know.
kicked
Oh,
in.
you guys, it was just a deadly shockwave. It's
Yeah.
nothing to worry about.
It's more like adrenaline kicked in, and you're like, "Oh crap, I can't."
Now that I know it can
Yeah.
kill me, there's no more fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I know what's
Now it's a
happening.
known thing.
So now you can all move. You're all visible.
Well, yeah.
Those who still have levels of exhaustion, you still do have that. And any damage you incurred,
Does exhaustion
that's
affect
still there.
rolls as well?
But
Yeah,
that's
maybe
it.
that's about it. Fix it.
What are you doing?
Going towards the source of the kabooms.
I mean, we've already seen it. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I do not care.
I walk towards the docks.
Okay.
All right.
are you guys sure about this? You said you couldn't remove it last time.
No, I'm incredibly unsure about this, but they seem dead set on going there, and I'm not going to leave them.
Well,
I'm already walking.
I can't do the voice. Things are going pretty shit, so like, we can either go shit this way or shit that way.
I mean, we can tell where the shock waves are coming from, and we know we can't reach it
Hey, but
unless the pole just kind of shot out of the ground or something.
we might be able to figure something out because of it.
We might also get killed by more shock waves. They seem to be happening pretty frequently.
Well, in that case, I don't think we really have a choice, regardless of which direction we go.
Because you said that the destruction was way worse at the epicenter, correct?
Yeah, everything's
It looks like
Yeah.
it from what you can see.
It looks like it gets a little weaker as it gets farther away, and we just, my brain hurts after that last wave.
I still felt it pretty good over here, so I think it still affects you no matter how far you go, just less and less. So I vote towards the epicenter.
I'm
What
already
is your game plan for when you get
halfway
there?
I don't know.
That's. I'm sorry, but that's a terrible plan.
I agree.
Homicide Lollipop says, "I realized y'all can't see my messages without Jason."
She says that, but I can see the
I know.
chat right here.
Some of them
I
got
just
chat
don't
on.
pay attention to it.
That's always fun. Can you hop up?
Never mind.
And then apparently Peter Pan is death and Neverland is purgatory. Tell your friends. So
The tinfoil hat guy is in chat.
yes. Oh no, that was your Hannah.
Hannah's a tinfoil hat guy.
Yes.
as long as you're aware. If you guys are surely set on going down to the docks, I suppose I'll assist.
And I won't let you go there alone, but I really, well, like I said, your heart's set on it.
Like I said, when I said I started walking, I started walking, so I have not been here for any of this conversation.
I'm catching up to her as fast as I can.
Okay.
I
As
give
you're
a worried look to Gold, and I follow along.
as you're moving towards the docks, again, you're seeing more and more destruction. It's just getting worse and worse. There are, you can hear pain screams from people who are, crushed under rubble from buildings, but have not died yet. You can see people on the street who, some of them are completely confused. Some of them are frightened by what's going on. Some of them are injured because of buildings collapsing and, maybe getting hit by some rubble but not being buried. I mean,
if there's anyone that I can help along the way, I'm going to attempt to assist.
Okay.
Are you going to use things I can do within reason? I have one spell slot left, I think, so I can't do much in that regard. But if there's anyone I can help up, get unstuck.
Are you proficient in medicine?
Proficient?
Medicine?
If you're proficient,
no, but I have a +4 to no proficiency.
Yeah, if you're not proficient in medicine, then
I'll help where I can.
Yeah, you can help where you can.
Up.
If you're actually proficient in medicine, you could, make medicine checks to stabilize people fairly easily from moderate wounds and stuff like that they've got. But yeah, there is plenty, and the closer you get to the docks, the more depressing it is because you hear less and less cries for help and screams and more unnerving silence.
I got a bad feeling about this.
You also do see occasionally guards that seem to be coming up through the streets from away, closer to the city center, moving towards the docks and everything, towards the epicenter of whatever this was. I'm not sure. You guys are more certain than they are. Moving up towards the docks and trying to help people and stuff like that, but there are, few and far between, but they're doing what they can. Eventually, you make it to the docks. Are you heading directly to where the rod is?
Essentially.
Well, I mean, it depends on if the water is still there or if it somehow is gone.
No, water's there.
Okay.
Everything looks, as far as the terrain, everything looks normal, except for these structures, the buildings and things like that are just ruined. Docks still seem to be in place, some of them, but some of these large piers, actually as you go through Dock 3, the entire thing has collapsed. All the berths on it are gone. Some of the ships survived, but all these berths are gone. The other docks, some of them are still intact because these are sturdy, utilitarian constructions made out of sturdy wood and other methods to make sure that they are durable. They don't look in 100% condition, but they're there. But some of the individual berths, besides Dock 3 is gone. But the individual berths on the other docks, there are some that have also collapsed. And there are some of the ships are damaged, but not so much so that they are sinking.
Well, at least the shock waves seem to have calmed down for the time being. What's the game plan here, Leon?
I'm gonna roll a perception. That's my game plan.
My only concern is that the shockwaves will resume.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that myself. That last one hurt pretty bad, and it's obvious that the damage is a little worse as we get closer.
My heart is broken. I look at my perception bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting to see Adrian's +9, and I was graded by Leon's +4, which is not awful.
But it's not a +9.
Yeah. Well, 19, so I'm looking for anything that kind of sticks out. Yeah.
You see a couple people near the docks that are wandering around. Most of those that are walking around, which is very few people, seem disoriented or in pain. A couple of them seem to be kind of their right minds and are trying to help. But almost everywhere you look, for every 10 people, 8 of them are dead on the docks, up on the firmament, laying down, and almost all of them seem to be, it looks like where their heart stops. You have like a heart attack or an aneurysm in your brain. Something. It's just like they They were out, and boom, they're dead. And you're smart enough to kind of intuit that third shockwave that went through probably took them out instantly.
Yeah.
So it's a huge drop in anyone that was at the docks. And you guys have been to the docks many times before. There's quite a few workers on there, several hundred that work these docks. This is a busy port. As you look around, you can probably count how many people you see up and about on two hands. It's scary.
I don't think we can take many more hits like that. We're pretty beat up from our battle with the demon guy.
So what, should we just go take a nap?
Well, probably not here.
Arcroth said that he wanted chaos. All he brought was devastation. There's nothing chaotic about this.
This one's pretty chaotic.
That's pretty chaotic. I mean, the chaos brought destruction, but...
I'm going to try something. I know it's not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Do it.
Go up to as close as reasonably the docks will allow me to where we knew it was underwater, and I'm going to try to mage hand grab it. Like I said, I know for a fact it's not going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot.
You have no idea where you're...
No,
It's about the level of the water compared to the sea floor in this area. This is a deep water port. It's probably 70, 80 feet.
How far is
30
the
feet.
Yeah.
No, I'm well aware it's not going to work.
Okay, well,
But it was worth a
that's the thought
shot.
that counts.
Yeah. That's all I got.
You tried, and you're like, okay, it was a long shot, but it
That's all I got, guys.
it wasn't fruitful.
Can I attempt to sense the rod's presence with my primeval awareness ability?
You can always try.
I go ahead and do so.
Okay.
Ding.
Ding.
Exactly what does your primeval awareness say? Verbatim.
As an action, you can spend one ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level per spell slot to sense whether an aberration, celestial, dragon, elemental, fiend, fey, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you are within your favorite terrain. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
Okay.
It does not.
You
reveal.
definitely feel that the rod is there. It feels distant, but it is there. It's within that 1 mile, but you're not sure exactly the distance. But it does feel kind of faint.
So if mage hand was a mile.
Then maybe.
Well, it wouldn't be Mage Hand anymore. It'd be Miles Hand.
Morales?
I'm out of ideas, guys. That was all I
Yeah,
had.
what are we,
Well, I think it's best now to run back to the Freelancers Association and try to gather as much help as we can, and also check in on our important people, such as
Ooh.
Councilman Antoinette.
Actually, I have a stupid that I would like to try.
What was that?
So, I can, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a minute. I can change spell slots into sorcery points and sorcery back into spell slots?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3 slots to do this to get a 4th level back.
Okay.
So, boop, boop, boop. I'm going to polymorph myself into a fish.
Okay.
A
Thank
fish
you.
that I know will fit down a rod-sized hole.
Okay.
And swim for a Viola.
Can you maintain concentration that long?
I
Or are you just
know.
going to kill yourself doing
We'll
this?
find out.
Just unmorphs within the tiny hole.
We'll.
yeah, how
Fine.
long is polymorph last? I did
It's like an hour, right?
It's been a minute.
Oh, it should
I,
easily swim 80 feet within.
I imagine as a fish
As a
who swims
fish?
for a living, I'd be fine.
Okay.
where
Quick
the
question.
For a living.
I mean, you're technically correct.
I'm sorry, honey, but I've got to go to work today. The water
Yes.
won't swim itself.
Concentration up to an hour.
If they stop swimming, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
they die, so that tries
Uh-huh.
swim for a living.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bless
excuse me.
you.
Thank you.
Bless.
Bless. Yes.
Guy.
What kind of fish again? Just a fish?
A fucking fish in the sea that
A
I know.
sunfish.
Yeah, just a fish that I know is gonna fit. If I get hit, I'm
Not a sunfish.
I'm no longer a fish immediately. I know that it's like a hit point, if that. Okay, just a fish
Turn
I
into
know.
a minnow.
A fish I know will fit in the hole.
You accidentally turn into a freshwater fish and die instantly.
Let's see here. I'm just looking for stats real quick, just to know.
Well, I guarantee you the stats
So-
are not great.
You polymorph into a fish.
Yep,
In particular, you polymorph into a kipper.
sure.
So that kipper, which is a lovely, beautiful fish that you change into, that thing is tiny
Yeah.
in size.
Mhm.
You begin to swim, and as you get in the water, you realize with your intelligence of 1, it is literally an intelligence of 1. The lowest I've ever seen.
Well, it's
You
a fish.
realize food. I live for food. Food.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have one. Cool.
You begin to swim around looking for food. Unfortunately,
little
you are too stupid to know what you want to look for.
Cool.
Ooh, I actually have something I can do here.
I guess I'm swimming around until
I cast
that
speak
changes.
with animals.
All right.
Okay.
I can
Love-
communicate.
What's the range on that?
Is she already gone?
She's in the water swimming.
The range is area self. Let's see. Yeah. Range area self. So,
You cast it on
oh, wait,
yourself.
no. It's on me.
Yeah.
Itself? Okay.
So
As long as she can be.
As long as
Yeah.
she can hear you. So,
Because I remember from moments ago where it took me 4 individual intelligence checks to actually communicate something worthwhile.
yep. So, she's underwater swimming around looking for food.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget, you need to find the rod.
Give me a perception check.
What's my perception as a fish? Because I rolled a 6, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not great. I imagine.
You hear.
Well,
Passive perception is an 8.
blub blub.
Yeah, you hear.
All right.
You
Well,
have
if
no
that's
idea what
gonna be how it's gonna go, in an hour I turn back into me and swim back to shore.
Okay,
So
there you go. Sorry, that's just you chose a simple
wait,
fish.
yeah, because he fit in the hole. That's all I got. I didn't have many options, guys.
No, I don't blame you.
Now I'm wet and upset.
Now I'm completely out of slots.
Yeah, baby.
It's okay, so am I now.
I got a level
Yeah, baby. That makes 3.
So-
A level 1.
Are you guys kind of hanging around, figuring and waiting for whatever happens with Persephone and her fish
I
options?
don't know. I
No.
resolved to head back to the Freelancers Association as fast as
I have
possible.
to say, as much as I love standing around waiting to die to a mysterious shockwave, I think we should get moving.
Alright, so I come back up to shore.
So is anyone
by
waiting for
myself.
Persephone?
No,
No, I mean, I will out of concern.
Okay, so you two are heading back towards the Freelancers Association.
I'll keep
Yeah.
trying to tell.
Leon is. I am going to try to help evacuate the people who are at least alive.
Okay, so you're going to start trying to gather people at the docks and move them away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leon, as you start making your way away from the docks, heading towards the center of town where the Freelancers Association is in the bowl,
Yeah.
you're making your way that way. Gold, you're beginning to gather people up. About 15 minutes later, while you are not there, Leon, you're already on your way.
That shockwave goes off while she's underwater.
Sounds like a me
Gold
problem.
and Patch, you notice coming up towards the docks is a contingent of guards, and I mean they're a ways away at this point, but they're kind of
To be
marching your
fair,
way down
I don't
the dark?
think I would notice that because right now I'm trying to shout into
Okay,
the water
well, Gold,
to
you
get
would...
Percy to come back up so we
Yeah.
can start moving.
Well, what's your passive perception?
8.
My passive perception? I have no idea. Let's see. How do I see that?
Be main page.
Yeah, it's on the main page of D&D Beyond.
How do you put passive perception?
Because I'm a fish.
Oh, right.
Show me where?
That's my bad.
All right, D&D Beyond.
No senses.
Passive
Okay,
perception 17. Yeah, you still notice. It's like you're just aware of your surroundings. So out of the corner of your eye, you notice this. What's your passive?
21.
Yeah. You guys notice a contingent of guards, which seems to be coming up the docks, and there is someone with them. From this distance, they're probably about maybe 100 feet away. You can't tell exactly who, but it is obviously not a guard. And they seem to be approaching you, and as you kind of look, the person who is not a guard seems to be kind of pointing out some of the people that are a little ways away from you that are at the docks that are still alive, whether they're confused or fine or whatever, to go and help them out. Oh, about, a few seconds later, maybe 30 seconds, a minute, as they're getting closer slowly, you both realize that it is Councilman Antoinette and this contingent of guards. And she is directing...
The one that did the huge chase?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the one that Leon has been in contact with.
Mhm.
It's been a little bit. I'm bad with names to begin with, so...
And as you, observe this, Leon, as you're continuing moving towards the Freelancers Association, at about, we'll call it the 30-minute mark. Okay. So you've got 30 more minutes as a fish.
Cool.
And
Does she
you're
get
keeping
another
her-
attempt at a perception as I'm shouting to her? Like, Percy,
Sure, why
time
not?
to go.
14, probably minus some numbers.
Something caught your attention. Some weird noise. You're curious to see what that is. You move to the surface. You see through your fishy bubble eyes, there's things standing on the knot water.
Love
Is she, like, within grabbing range?
Not quite. She's like this big.
I know.
And she's probably, just like swimming around and looking like, well, what's up there? Is that a bug? No, that's not a bug. That's not a bug in the knot water.
Percy, it's time to go.
It's not a bug in the water.
what to tell you, man. Love.
What do you say? I can understand you.
I think that was
Yeah.
my foot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Unless you're literally saying the words blub, in which case, fuck you.
who's Percy?
She wouldn't even know who she was, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. With my intelligence
Oh,
of
jeez.
negative fish.
How bad was Percy looking? You don't have to tell me the exact number to metagame, but how shitty were you looking before this?
It's like halfway shitty.
Halfway shitty? That's... Do I have a spell that can knock you out of fish mode?
Yeah, it's called a hit with stick.
Yeah. Throw a pebble at
Yeah,
me.
she literally has like
I have
one hit point or
half
something
a
like
hit
that.
point. Like,
Yeah,
let's
half-
be
With like
real.
an AC of probably like 2.
If you hit her, period, boop, she's
Yeah,
back in.
I will
friggin-
not be a fish if I'm touched by anything that's not water.
Alright, I'm gonna try Thorn Whip to whip her out of the water.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, I'll make a, if it even hits, I'm like, fishing. I got 12 to hit.
Well, my AC is probably garbage.
I bet it's not as a very tiny fish.
Oh, actually, I guess tiny. He's got the stat right here.
Well,
AC 13. Ha!
yeah, there you go.
Zach.
So yeah, you hit.
No, I missed.
Oh, you missed.
I rolled a 12, exactly short.
Well, he missed you. Your fishness dodged.
Not today,
Yeah.
spaceman.
I'm trying to
So,
help.
Patch, as you're trying to do this,
I'm gonna try again as soon
Yeah.
as I'm able. Fishing for.
as you're trying to do this, trying to fish, you you notice that Gold, who's there with you, is trying to help people. The contingent of guards and Councilman Antoinette finally get up to where you guys are, and she sees you and Gold.
Not me. Susan.
No. And says, "Oh,
Oh, hey, council lady.
yes, I apologize. I've only cut your name once before."
Oh, it's Patch. I extend my
Patch.
hand.
And she
Good
shakes
to see
it.
you're doing well.
She shakes it, and
I'm just trying to fish my friend out of the water right now, and I'm gonna take another.
okay, go ahead. Roll it.
13.
Please. Okay, yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay. Boom! You get hit. You're now not fish.
No, I'm Percy. I'm gonna get the fuck out of this water.
Yeah.
I just ran out of the water.
So while you were there,
Does excess damage go through? Should I roll?
yes, it does.
does.
Okay. Well, sorry about
It's
whatever
fine.
happens.
I deserve it.
So,
Oh,
Councilman
wow, that was
Antoinette
lucky.
and
I
the
got super
contingent
shit
of
damage
guards
4.
show
So I
up.
think you take 3 if the fish has 1 health.
Yep, there you go. So she shows up. She says, "Oh, it's all of you."
She sees like the end of the whip come out of the water with a whole person.
Yep, pretty much.
There we go. All right, sorry. Had to take care of that before she swam away again.
Patch is back.
If
Being a fish,
if
not
you
too great.
if you would
Don't
seeing
recommend.
that you're alive, is everyone in your group okay?
Okay, stretching it, but yeah, we're alive.
We have seen better days.
We could really use your help.
Of course.
We're attempting to gather everyone that has survived this calamity and bring them away from this area.
I'm out of
All right,
magic
Matt.
juice and I'm not very strong, but I will help in any way I'm able to.
If you would, we're actually meeting in Eastgate, as it is the farthest area of the city away from here, and has suffered the least amount of damage. We're attempting to use some of the halfway houses and soup kitchens and areas that we have set up throughout Eastgate as staging points for people. If you could please escort more there and meet us there, we'd appreciate it. We need strong individuals like your group to help us recover from this. This is devastating. And you can see she has been crying this whole time. I mean, she's not crying currently, but there are her eyes are shot, they're red. There you can see the sunkenness underneath them. Her makeup, you can see some of the streaks. This has been devastating for her.
I simply look at her and I tell her, stop the tears.
Well, she's not currently crying.
As a public official, we need to remain strong and show that to the people.
I know. My tears were shed when I was in private.
I will bring as many as I can to this game.
Thank you. Thank
I'm-
all three of you.
Of
And
course. Sorry,
Your-
Percy.
That's fine.
your
I'm
compatriots, Leon and the furry one.
Furry one's working. Little one, Leon, probably certain is looking for you.
Excellent. If you see him before I do, again, and she actually gives you an exact location of one of the halfway house soup kitchens in Eastgate that she will actually be at. There are some other councilmen that are also taking groups of city guards around with and trying to help people. And she also informs you that things are bad Eknot is really close to the fucking harbor. Many of the noble people, hence the...
oh no, rich people suffering.
Yeah, I know, but also these were the people that were governing things and in charge and knew what was going on. Many of them dead. Gone. So, this city has suffered a catastrophic loss of people, including those that actually had the leadership, the foresight, the knowledge of what was going on in order to take care of it. She is one of few that has survived. And she is attempting to try to move things forward. But she gives you an exact address. Says, if you need me, this is where I will be. But please, come help. We need it.
Of course.
So, with a combination of first drying myself off, using thaumaturgy and prestidigitation to both yell and make bright lights and arrows to help guide people towards anywhere that I can, stand and walk, make your way to insert location here.
Yep, your efforts there definitely clarify things. You see people kind of glomming onto the display and understanding, oh, go this way. People in trauma, sometimes when you just give them a path to follow, they will follow willingly and easily. And you have done that.
Right into my trap card.
And then you destroy them.
Fireball.
Joke's on
Leon.
you to save that
It's an
spell.
You've been moving on for about another 15 minutes. You're making your way towards the city center. As you go in that direction, things slowly get better, but it is very slowly. There is still lots of destruction, many buildings down, many injured. That pretty much silence, eerie silence that you heard near the docks. It's starting to pick up. You hear wails of despair. People trapped here and there. You also hear people gathered trying to, to help civilians and city guard alike, trying to help others. You even hear some people that, whether they are guards or civilians, you're not sure, but you hear them in a distance, almost like barking orders, like taking charge to try to help the situations. Are you continuing on? What are you doing?
I still don't know that Antoinette or Dee or so on and so. No, I'm not asking. I'm saying I still don't know about that. So logically, I would continue to the freelancer. So you know where.
I would imagine do see and hear my big yelling display.
That's 15 minutes away.
Oh, sorry. I missed the when you left. Thing.
Yeah, he's been moving for 50. He's a long ways away.
30 minutes.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah, 30 actually, because he left 15 minutes before Antoinette actually got up to your group.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Okay, so.
But I appreciate
what are the rest of you doing? What is your current plan?
The
This
thing
is
I
helping
said,
guide people to the location that we were
the
given.
facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just light a torch and I have people follow me as I escort a group.
Okay. Excellent. Yep, I didn't do that. That's dog noises. Okay. So, as you are guiding people and time goes by, some of it's a little bit rough. Everyone who is helping with this, so you three, this is taking a little bit of an emotional toll because you're all seeing this pain, death, destruction of the properties and stuff, which that in itself isn't so
Cash has
bad.
depression now.
Okay. But you're seeing all of this, and you're close to the epicenter at the docks. There's a lot of work to be done. You're trying to, move rubble and see if there's any survivors, things like that. I'm actually going to ask for a perception check from all three of you.
A perception check from Gold, you say?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
That one.
Okay.
Also nat 1 for a 7.
I got an 8.
What do you have?
5.
5. What's the highest out of there? We got a 5 and 8.
7. Oh,
No, he had a
8. I'm
7.
sorry.
It's
not
I missed,
higher than
okay.
an 8.
I
I'm
missed your
sorry.
8. I'm sorry. I heard 7. I was
Okay,
like,
you are struggling to find people. However, about an hour into it, as you are kind of moving through one dock at a time, actually more like an hour and a half. I mean, this is a lot of work. You finally get to dock 5. You happen to be close to Snooble's little home.
Wait, it took us how long to get to the
About
end of
an
the
hour and a half, because you're digging through rubble, looking and listening for survivors.
Oh, okay. We're searching for people right now,
Yes.
not walking back to the...
No, it's
I
not
will
just a
say,
walk.
It made sense in my mind to ignore the dock because everyone here is kind of already fucked and go back
There-
towards the people who were screaming.
There are
There are still people
potentially
here. Okay.
people under rubble and stuff like that. And it's kind of what Councilman Antoinette alluded to.
Okay.
Hey, please help. As you do that, you get closer to Dock 5, and you get close to Snooble's residence. Patch, as you are kind of looking through some rubble, looking for any signs of life, you're sitting there moving stuff aside. It's hard work. You're not the strongest guy in the world.
8 strength. Yeah.
You're moving like rocks like this big. You're going like, okay, I can move this stuff. And you move a rock, you put it over here, you go to grab another rock, and you just get this feeling like, wait a minute, that looks like the same exact rock that I just moved. I mean, I'm not an expert on rocks, but that looks like the same exact fucking rock.
I look back at the rock that I just moved.
It's not there.
Well, I suffered brain damage earlier, so I'm going to assume that one's on me and pick it up again.
Okay, you pick it up again, you move it again, you go back and... What the fuck?
Alright, so this time, the next time I move it, I'm going to not take my eye off the rock. I'm going to set it right next to the pile. I'm not going to put it behind me out of the way. I'm going to set it on a slightly different spot of the pile.
And then as you turn back...
Well, it's not turning, because I move it to the side and then go to grab the next rock, so
Okay.
my eyes are not off.
So you're going like this, and then just reaching over here?
Well, my eyes are not leaving that rock.
Right, so you take the rock, you put it here, you keep your eyes on here, and you reach over here for another rock? Kind of like that?
Look
So-
at me, Jason. This is it.
Yeah, it's slightly to the side.
Just that way.
It's
Just
not
a little
90
bit.
degree.
Yeah, he
Just a
moves
little bit.
the rock 4 inches.
Just a little bit, okay.
Yeah.
So you move the rock 4 inches, you set it down, you reach for another rock that's kind of close by, still keeping that
Both
in your
are
sight.
still in my vision.
Okay. As you reach here, you try to reach for a rock, and there's not, so you're trying to dig around, and all of a sudden you feel a rock in your hands.
Oh, I can still see both spots, so I'm not like blind grabbing.
Okay, I know, but it's like you feel a rock in your hands, almost like you were reaching for a rock that's still kind of in your vision to try to keep an eye on things, but it's almost like the rock assisted itself into getting into your hands. It's just weird. And then at that point you hear
I don't know Stubble that well.
no
You've met him a time.
once.
It's like, what the heck? I mean, I know I'm being messed with,
Mm.
but I have, like, alright, I'm trying to help here, come on. I look around, trying to see the source.
You look around, and as you're looking around, like, do you like turn around and like?
Yeah,
look
I take my eyes off the rock. At this
Okay.
point, I know I'm being messed with.
So you turn around, you look one way, you come back another way, and as you turn around, 6 inches from your face is this kind of so ugly it's almost cute face that is a little distorted, that is just looking at you, and he goes, "Hi."
He jumps like I jump like 6 feet. Like
You guys hear this?
I just see Patch.
Yeah. You guys hear this? He goes, "Hi."
Snooble, if you were dead, I was gonna have to kill you.
I'm not dead, so you know, kill me.
When I see that.
Jesus, you again. All right. Well, it's good to see you're alive, I guess.
Yeah, ouchies came, but no problem. I'm strong.
So it seems.
Persistent, yeah.
So what you doing?
Well, I was trying to help find any survivors, but I found my task to be a little bit more difficult than I predicted for reasons beyond my control.
Oh. Yep. Don't know nothing about that. What are survivors?
People who are not dead yet.
Oh.
That's a great thing.
You would qualify as a survivor.
You are a survivor, that's right.
Does that mean I win?
Yes.
I win.
We're looking for other winners now.
Oh, to that way.
And he points
Well,
over to a
alright.
pile of rubble.
Snooble, can you
That's oddly fucked up, but I will.
Can you
I'll
make
take it.
a doorway there? It's a little easier than digging through the rubble.
Doorway into the inside of the rock pile. As they get
You'll
their bones
have
broken.
more great stuff.
I will. I can make it
An
happen.
IOU.
Okay.
And he goes, and a little portal opens up, kind of in, I mean, this whole area, all the buildings and structures are just destroyed. So it's really not a wall, it's basically just rubble. And he just kind of swirls his hand around in his finger, and in one of the kind of concrete, so to speak, or, brick and mortar, wall, stone structures that's left, a little portal opens up, and through it, you actually see right on the other side is a person who is basically under some other rubble and structure, and they're not looking the greatest, but they are still breathing, you can tell.
And isn't the hole kind of too small for...
It's pretty small, but you figure that,
We all
okay,
managed to fit through it before. It just took
Yeah,
getting
you-
someone out from under rocks and stuff.
yeah, you
Through a hole that's
I was gonna
barely big
say,
enough for 'em.
before you finished, jokingly,
Mhm.
you figure that, they can fit through now that all their bones are broken and everything.
Yeah.
They're pretty slimy.
No, you figure that you could make it work. It's definitely easier than, removing all the rubble. You can find a way to make it work. It's just, are they going to incur more damage in the process? And do you have a way to mitigate that?
No, we don't have magic.
I
We
have
are,
mage hand.
5 pounds.
I mean, if you can
I
come up,
didn't say it was super helpful.
yeah, if you can come up with, with ideas on how to mitigate damage
I
or
cannot.
or heal damage or whatever is needed, then
There's a pulley system
You
to make
figure-
use of the 5 pounds.
Yes, leverage.
pulley system. So you want to use?
Oh, I was joking.
Well, is that an idea you want to use?
I can shape some water and I got mage hand.
Well,
Beyond
I'll ask,
that,
are there any pulleys in my immediate vicinity?
Or anything tall, because everything got knocked over.
Gold with your high
Yeah, I guess
21
with rope.
passive perception. There's plenty of rubble and structure. This is a docks. You can find rope. You can find things that can work as pulleys or even actual pulleys themselves, just scanning around with your high passive perception. So you figure, yes, we could put something together pulley-wise if we needed.
And then there's the whole deal of how are we gonna tie the rope around a rock? At that point, we already have to lift it.
Yeah. Not at this point, because there's no pre-existing structures for us to work off of. I'd rather just use lumber to try and wedge rocks off.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, the pulley thing was mostly me joking. Not an awful idea, but not practical in this situation.
I'd like to locate materials to work as a pry bar of sorts.
Easily enough. You don't even have to
You
roll
probably
for
pick
anything.
one off of the pile of rubble that we're currently
Yeah,
working
you
on.
Oh, yeah,
guys
right
find
here
some
behind
pry
me.
bars. Go ahead and either give one person, if you're all working together, give one person advantage on an athletics check.
I'm assisting.
Or
Yeah, I was like, have that gold. I can't roll for shit.
so either athletics for one person at advantage, or you can roll individually.
Have that.
I'm assisting.
I can't roll for shit.
Okay.
That is a 20.
No problem. After about 15-20 minutes of solid work, you're able to, through the portal, actually help lift up the material off of this person. And even though it's a small portal, gently kind of twist and guide them through. And, you know, I mean, before, Persephone was able to slip through, but that's quickly. You have to be smaller to do that. Anyone can get through that portal given enough time to gently try to, okay, what if we put their arm up like this through here? And that's what you do. So you get this person out. Snooble is then more than happy to help you with the other person he knows about and does the same thing.
Next.
Well, that's actually pretty darn helpful, little guy. Thanks.
I'm good helper. Yeah.
You win again.
Yep, I win.
Leon,
Yeah.
by this time, because they have spent about an hour and a half working hard, and then additional time, another 15-20 minutes doing that, you finally made it to the Freelancers Guild.
Mm.
You get there. The building itself is still standing. Many of the buildings around are still standing, but they do have some exterior damage. It is clear. As you were moving away from the docks and moving towards this area, more and more buildings remained standing, but there were still some that were down. You know, it's just like a slow progression.
I'm surprised the Freelancers Association didn't have measures in place.
It's very durable.
Right, but I'm not talking about structural measures. I mean,
You're talking magical.
magical, considering they trapped dragons and whatnot to fight in the arena and had huge wards. So I figured they might have a little bit more, but
maybe. Yeah, I mean, the building's standing.
yeah, no, for
you
all
only
intents and purposes, good job.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it from the outside as you approach, you do notice there are some like cracks in the outer facade,
Mhm.
but the whole thing seems to be there.
Well,
And as you enter in, it's almost at first glance appears to be utter chaos, as you see freelancers, different guild members, groups, all in the main entryway, all kind of in their individual groups. And it's just like, holy crap, I have not seen this many guild members in one spot other than the fucking tavern near the back.
yeah.
Or during the arena when the trials were going on. I have not seen this many in one spot in any one time.
Mhm.
But as you kind of walk through, you start to notice and you see, standing on the counter is Aiden LaRue. And you hear his voice ring out. He said, "We need people in various quadrants." And he starts to list out different areas. And as he's listing out different areas, you see hands raise up from different groups. We'll go here. We'll go here. There are so many groups there. But at the same time, there's clearly some missing. Or at least you notice from your time around the Freelancers Association, you've met some of these groups, you've seen some of these groups, and even though you may not know everyone's name, you kind of get a makeup of, hey, yeah, that group over there, they seem pretty nice. You know, they got 5 members, blah, blah, blah. You see 3.
Yeah.
You know, and things like this. There's obviously been some death. Okay, or they're somewhere else. Who knows?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Some complications.
Yeah, some complication. But you see, you know, Aiden seems to be in charge, and of course, who else is at the front desk?
Is his name not Brock? Or
Bart.
Or close enough.
Yeah,
Man.
Bart, and grumpy as ever, with his one eye and his crippled leg. But he just seems to be taking notes of things. Anytime any group says anything, he's busy cataloging stuff.
Yeah.
But Aiden seems to be in charge. And in fact, give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Nope.
What'd you get?
6.
You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Womp.
yeah,
Notice
but
is that-
that's what you see upon first entry.
Okay. I would, of course, start looking for Councilman Antoinette and Dee and so on and so forth.
You don't see Councilman Antoinette here.
I start to ask around as well.
Okay. Yeah, give me a persuasion check. Because people are kind of distracted with duties and stuff, and it's not that they're not wanting to help, it's just that they're like, oh, look, I gotta go do this,
I got better shit.
22.
Okay. Only takes you a couple minutes. And
So was
as you eventually find out, in fact, what you end up doing that gets you the information that you want is you're smart enough to know, go to the guy who seems to be in charge. You walk straight up to the counter where Aiden is standing on.
Mm.
And as you walk up, he sees you down there and he says, Leon, Blue Devil, where's the rest of your group?
Well, my man, they're down helping people at the docks. I'm looking for Antoinette.
The councilman has actually sent word they are, what few councilmen remain are in Eastgate. They're using several soup kitchens or other shelters and things like that as gathering points to be away from the epicenter of this calamity.
Sounds like a plan. I'm off.
If I remember correctly, Councilman Antoinette, I believe, was taking this one, and he gives you a specific location.
Watch them.
Your group is already involved in helping. Good. Is there anything else you need at this time to assist? Because if not, I need to direct the rest of these to vital areas.
I know I bought healing potions. I'm not sure if I used might right. Sorry, I just don't know because I'm a dummy dum dum.
Are you asking if there's more healing potions available?
I'm only gonna ask that in character if I have none, which it appears I have none. So yeah, I say to him, "Do you have like a healing potion, my man? Because I'm sitting at this much. And I don't know.
You ain't looking so good. Unfortunately, everything has already been given out to assist with the wounded.
Give me a kiss on the forehead.
Leon
He just-
goes
I
like
didn't say that in
180-degree
You
personality change.
I'm sorry. I
mean, if you want to, you
I just
can,
can't
but
roleplay today.
so
No.
No, he's
Hey,
like-
yo, my man.
Hey, yo, my
continue
man.
on. Just continue on, please. As you are walking out, what's your passive perception?
It's like a 14.
Okay. As you're walking out, you do catch out of the corner of your eye. Dee is there.
All right.
She seems to be
There you go.
within this crowd of freelancers. Kind of on her own, but also, I mean, there's so many there that she can't help but be surrounded. But she's really apart. She's not like standing specifically with any one group. But she just seems to be kind of waiting to hear, as far as you can tell, okay, where am I best used?
Yeah. Well, I approach her and I say to her, I'm heading out, and by the way, hi. I'm heading out to get to Eastgate, and I'm going to try to grab as many people that need assistance as possible on the way there.
She says, good. I will most likely be heading to Southgate to see what survivors are there that I can help in moving them towards Eastgate.
Gotcha. Well, you stay
I'm glad to
safe.
see you're okay.
Thank you.
Albeit you do look like shit.
When do I not?
Fair enough.
Dang.
Confirmed Leon's fugly.
He just needs to shave, that's all. So I say my goodbyes and I head out, and people on the way, I'm just like, Eastgate.
Okay, so you're heading there, heading towards the specific location where Antoinette is? Okay. What about you guys?
Continuing to do the thing, helping people, going to the location she said.
Okay.
Yep.
March.
3 hours later, you all find yourselves at a shelter in Eastgate, right up against the wall. I mean, this is as far away in the city as you can get from the docks. And it is packed with injured, hurt people, as well as helpers.
This is depressing.
When, as you're helping bringing people in, all of you from different areas, you all eventually see each other.
Yo.
And shortly after that,
Young Leon.
you see Councilman Antoinette, who seems to be, she's not in regal clothing, not in noble clothing. She is in almost what look like the equivalent of medieval scrubs. She has a white apron on that is stained with all manner of blood and other potential bodily fluids from those who may be injured. She is almost acting like a triage nurse. She finds you, and she sees you and says, "Ah, good. I'm glad you arrived."
To us or to Leon?
To all of you.
Okay, that's right. We did regroup.
I'm glad you arrived. And Tomer's there with you too.
And Tomer was there too.
Yeah.
They all went on to live
Yeah.
happy lives. The end.
She says, I'm glad you're here. And I have a request for all of you. This has been devastating. We need supplies. And then she kind of waves, and from a little ways away. Pull him off, damn it. Where are you? Here we go. From a little ways away, you see some familiar faces that walk over towards you. A human male, a halfling female,
I know who.
a halfling male, and a female dragonborn.
It's the agents of Overshore.
It is the agents of Overshore. You remember Samuel, Grace, Phineas, and
that
Tashaw.
mousy chick.
Oh, I love Phineas.
Yeah, fucking mousy chick.
And
I'm ecstatic.
and as they approach, Samuel says, "Councilman, what can we do for you?" Says she gathers all of you and them and brings you kind of into a corner away from everyone else.
Doing a football huddle.
Hmm?
So we're doing a football huddle.
Yep.
Come on, team.
And she
Go, Chief.
and she says, "We need money, food, and some other supplies. We are in dire need." about 2/3 of the city is destroyed. Almost 3/4 of the entire population is gone. This is devastating. We need to recover.
What would you have us do?
Well, I brought you together because I have an idea. And she then looks over to Grace. And Grace, as always, is all smiles. All bubbly and happy. And she says,
It's gonna be all right. I promise. I have some contacts in Overshore. I grew up there, you know. We can go there and we can get all the supplies we need.
That sounds good.
But it's a several weeks journey and it's not necessarily the safest road all the time.
Is that the closest place? Does this city, what's left of it, have a couple weeks?
young Grace has, and assist in gathering information and gathering supplies. You can also use my name to hopefully garner favor. Kyver and Overshore haven't always been on the best of terms. It has been more personal business relationships, not so much political. However, I think that with the right persuasion, they would be willing to help us. And we desperately need help, and as soon as possible.
If your name carries weight, you should write that down somewhere on something that we can hand to someone important.
Boom, she hands you a scroll and says,
that was
already
great.
dealt with.
Fair enough. Is there any
However-
some kind of evidence that something like this happened? Would they know?
Here, I'll take a picture.
Well, obviously we don't.
However, I do believe
Yes.
I do believe young Grace's contacts will be of use.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds
I
good.
got about 16 on it I can lend you for now.
That is not nearly enough.
Yeah, but
Keep your money for now.
Let's save like one dude maybe. I don't know how about
Keep
One guy.
keep
I'm
that,
just so hungry.
keep that for now.
I could eat
I could eat the
1,600
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worth of.
me so full from
And
2
she
metric
turns
tons
she
of
turns towards
soil.
Samuel and says, I know it has only been a few hours, but your group has been instrumental with your skills in reconstruction and assisting. But with Grace's contacts, may we steal her and send her along with the Blue Devils.
Of course.
I am visibly in pain. Emotional pain.
I do not mind.
Okay. And Samuel says, whatever you need.
Oh, that was towards them. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And Grace says,
I promise I won't be a burden. I just want to use my contacts so that we can fix the situation.
Can I insight Grace?
sure, go ahead.
Insight check.
10? Okay.
She's full of shit.
She seems to be completely on the up and up.
Cool. Visibly in pain.
Okay.
Moving on.
So, the councilman, she says to you, I'm asking, please, for the Blue Devils to take this member of the Agents of Overshore with you, make as much haste as possible to Overshore. Beseech your contacts, and as necessary, use the scroll which she's given to you,
Yep.
Patch.
I put in my whatever bag I have.
Okay, yep, no problem. Use that to get as much help as you can and bring it back as quickly as possible. We need food, supplies, money.
Any of the
Anything.
horses and wagons make it?
Um,
I'm not gonna
I'm
carry
sure we
all
could
that
get
back.
ours.
yeah, you're. To be honest, as
I was
As
just,
you
I was
go
just
and
gonna
check
take
the-
one. I wasn't gonna
yeah,
ask.
as you go and check things, yeah, actually, your horses are fine.
All
Your
right.
wagon is
Yeah,
fine.
I'm like, I'm not
Yay.
asking for
We are very
permission. I'm
wise
taking
horses.
whatever one is currently
they are
in
wise.
front of me.
But wise
I will say, however,
This guy, eh? Well, yes, as a matter
I will say, however,
5,000.
as you have gotten a request, a task from the councilman, and made your way back to find out about your horses and your equipment, and meet up with Tomer, who has been at the honey potty and helping. What you find out? Maxwell has died.
How unfortunate.
Oh. The honey pot inn.
That was the husband, right?
That
Yeah.
was the husband.
Oh, well, didn't we check in? Oh, wait.
This was
I rolled for them.
pre-murder.
Okay.
Maxwell failed and died. The 4 children surprisingly made it, as did Alyssa, but Maxwell has died. And that is where we will take our break.
Yeah.
So, when we come back, we will find out what the party feels like about that, as well as we will see what they intend to do next. And anyone that wishes to give us any super chats, super stickers, or any of that to help support the channel, we would love that. And we will read off those super chats, super stickers, etc., whatever. We'll give you guys some props for that. We don't care if you say what you love about the channel, what you love about the show and the game, or do your worst. Tell us what you hate. We'll read it off in a silly voice.
Or you could wish Zach a happy birthday.
You could do that. It is his birthday yesterday, and therefore
Happy belated
today is his
birthday.
birthday game. So we would love that. So please feel free. And if you don't see the ability to super chat, we kind of turned that on after the stream had started. So just get a refresh on your YouTube, and that way, if you want to do a super chat, you should have that ability to do that once you do that. Once you do the refresh. So we will see you in about 10 minutes. See you in a little bit, guys.
Yeah.
Where we left off before break is you had been asked by Councilman Antoinette to take Grace with you in order to make a journey to Overshore, in order to beseech them for supplies, money, materials, food, whatever they could spare. And bring that, go there and bring that back as quickly as possible to help recover from the damage that had been wrought upon Kaya. So, you guys are currently still there in one of the kind of halfway houses, soup kitchens areas in Eastgate, right up near the actual wall to the city. Pretty much as far east as you can get within the city. As far away from the docks as possible. There are tons of people here. It is packed. What are you guys up to? What do you do?
I grab the horse and cart and prepare road rations.
Take the food from these already starving.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I've also
Just
been
rip it out of
awake
someone's
for like
hands.
30 hours, so I'm also grouchy. I don't
Yeah,
give a
no,
fuck.
it's probably time to
Yeah, y'all
take
take
a
a
rest.
nap. I'll drive for a little bit.
Okie dokie. Sounds like a plan.
I just kick back against the wall and fall asleep very quickly.
So you guys are all getting your supplies together as needed for a journey. You have your cart. You have your horse. You have all of your party members, including Tomer.
And we have Grace.
And you have one additional, Grace. And Jonathan is there with you as well, if you wish.
Yeah, well, wasn't going to leave him behind.
I don't know. He may need to help Alyssa now that Maxwell's dead.
Oh.
That is a good point.
Oh, that's
probably
right.
come
We just
back
got
just
that.
for that.
But
that mood bomb.
outside of character, I just got him, man.
I know.
Alright, yeah, I'll leave him with Alyssa.
And so Jonathan is staying back at the honeypot inn to assist
Yeah.
because Maxwell has died.
Honestly, skill
Whoa.
issue.
Oh. Damn.
The guy just wasn't wise enough.
He wasn't, he just wasn't,
What is
He
Jonathan
sucked.
up to?
You ask him?
Yeah.
He's your sidekick. You want me
Hey,
to ask for you?
Jonathan, what do you
Yeah.
want to do?
What do you mean?
You can stay here and help Alyssa, or you can come with us and help us get more materials.
I'm all for whatever is needed.
Alright, and you stay here and help Alyssa.
Okay,
Thank you, Jonathan.
not a problem.
Alright, we need to get a move on yesterday. Let's
Mhm.
go.
So you guys head out?
Is the owner of the honeypot the lady?
Yeah,
Alyssa?
Is she there?
She is.
I give her a hug.
She accepts it.
A warm and fuzzy hug.
And you can tell it means a lot to her. She's kind of grown fond of you guys. I mean,
Naturally.
you've done so much for them, and they even offered you basically a home base of operations, which they haven't quite finished. That was on the docket, but now things are a little more complicated. But she promises you that by the time you return, because this is about a 7 week journey, just to get there, and then another 6-7 weeks to get back.
Oh, I thought it was like 2
Oh,
weeks.
So we're crossing a continent.
Yeah,
I
That-
drastically misheard that.
that your place will be there for you, and when you reach out to her and give her a hug, you can tell it means a lot to her. And she even says, just, you always have a home here. Don't worry about the cost. That's not an issue.
Don't.
We'll be
rush.
back soon.
Please be. Please do be.
Doobie doo what? Doobie doo
In 10 to 14 business weeks.
Yes. So you head out.
I'll drive first and give everyone else time to long rest.
What a champ.
The first week goes by. Go ahead and give yourselves long rests.
Yay.
The first week goes by. It's really uneventful. The destruction wrought upon Kyver seems to have been relatively local to that area. As you travel away from the area, things kind of seem normal. And the road itself, as it is a major highway, so to speak, is fairly well protected as far as, it isn't messed with bandits too much, at least this close to such a major city. The reach of Kyver is far enough that bandits aren't going to mess with anybody that close to the city. Now, further out, that's a different story. There could be issues, there could be problems. But that first week is uneventful. It is just traveling the road. As the second week of your travel comes about, things seem relatively the same. Weather changes here to there, you start to get, some rain and some wind occasionally, interspersed with nice, bright, sunny days. But it is typical of the season as you are starting to approach fall. As you go through, the second week is also uneventful. The third week of travel. As you're going through that week, similar when it comes to weather, the occasional encounter with other people traveling on this major highway. As what you've experienced before, nothing out of the ordinary. And the occasional run-in with some of the fauna that happens to be in the area. Occasionally you see deer a little ways away from the road, or other creatures, standard beasts that happen to inhabit the area. But you don't encounter anything dangerous at this time. However, in the fourth week, about halfway through your journey, you're bedded down for the night. And Gold, with your passive perception, something that you've kind of been picking up over the last couple nights, and really seems to stick in your mind tonight, is you notice that Grace seems to have been studying some kind of map over the last couple nights. She's not really hiding it, but she's also not making it something well known. She's constantly looking at this map. And as first watch is being set, and dinner is being cooked and then served, it's something that just kind of sticks in your mind, like, why is she constantly looking at a map? I mean, this is just a highway that goes pretty much straight from Kyber to Overshore if you just stay on that. I mean, there's no map really needed. Why is she constantly studying this map?
Do I ever notice her talking to herself or muttering something while she's obsessively looking at this map?
For that, give me an actual perception check.
What you got there?
Can I insight her
Pipsqueak.
again?
What's her passive perception?
10.
Give me a perception check then.
16 for the perception check.
Okay. And perception?
13.
Okay. Yeah, you can give her an insight check. And she doesn't seem to be muttering to herself, but she's definitely deep focus concentrating on this map. What'd you get?
10.
Okay. You're not sure what to make of it. You do notice as well, you're kind of a little late to the party when it comes to noticing her paying attention to this map, but she seems to be doing this tonight in particular. You're not sure what it means, but it sticks out a little bit to you.
Am I rolling a perception as well?
If you wish.
I'm good.
14.
Okay, yeah, you notice.
I'm just gonna ask, what you got there?
Oh, it's a map.
Of what? I'm bored out of my mind. I'm gonna probe this. We've been on the road for weeks.
Well,
Oh.
Okay, so I have something to say.
I get
All right.
prepared to slap her.
I don't really have any contacts in Overshore.
I slap her.
Roll up to hit unarmed strike.
I'm gonna try to.
It's a 19 on the die.
I'm gonna try to block. Like,
I'm not
reflex
going for lethal. I'm just going for fucking.
Yeah,
she deserved that.
You attempt to reach in and block, but Percy, who's right there next to her, just real quick.
I
just
readied
whack,
my slap.
whack. It doesn't cause any physical damage, but it's like, ow. And she's like, and she looks at you and she goes, "That wasn't very nice."
And neither was lying to me.
why did you lie? I mean,
Okay,
My
look,
insight was
look.
twice.
look. I don't have any contacts in Overshore, but I do have a way to get us what is needed for Kyver.
And what is that?
what does it have to do with the map?
Persuasion check.
Persuasion. I don't have a very good persuasion. Let's see. Okay, I do have a +1.
I believe in you.
Oh, I got a dirty 20.
I'm glad I believe in
Oh,
you.
damn. She looks at you for a moment. And then she says, "It's my father's map. It was passed down from his father and his father before."
If you say there's a treasure in there, I'm gonna
Is it-
slap you again.
Is it a map to someone who's going to help?
No, it's... She slowly moves behind Gold, away from Persephone, and says, "It's the Minotaur's treasure."
I mage hand slap her.
You're gonna cast a spell?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
so that
sorry.
takes.
I know it takes a minute. There's somatic and blah blah. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I'm still mage hand slapping her.
Roll and
About
attack.
10 seconds before I smack the shit out of you.
It's a 5. So
Yeah, no,
not
you
great.
miss. You miss. And she ducks out of the way. And
She was ready then.
yeah. I told her that time.
Who has proficiency in history? Anyone?
I don't think I have proficiency.
You're
It's all
fine.
right.
But you are a bard, and therefore you have like jack of all trades, or you at
He
that
has-
level. Yeah.
Do you need me to be proficient? Because I am.
If you are proficient in history,
I'm
or you
not.
have the jack of all trades
No.
feature, you can roll history.
Are Minotaurs like a
Absolutely
common like story
It's the other character.
fairy tale
Not
creature?
really.
So that's the other
Fairy
character.
tales aren't really like
What'd you get? Leon dies in a 4? What? No. Nat 1?
Lower, yeah.
Okay. What'd you get? Are you proficient?
No, I
Oh, okay.
I said I'm not.
I'm
I said
old
the
and
other
lived in the
character.
area. Can I roll?
If I was Gwen, I'd be fine.
Give me a
She's
better
super
reason why.
dead.
That is as good as I'm gonna
Okay.
get.
Roll at disadvantage.
That's fine.
what I know what a Minotaur is.
Yes.
Yeah.
15.
At disadvantage? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 13 and a 17. I got a
For
plus
some
2 to history.
reason, you actually, because you've lived a long life and you're kind of from this general region, this is farther south from you, but you have heard briefly of the Minotaur's treasure. What you remember of that is that there used to be a long time ago a Minotaur that had taken up residence in some old dwarven ruins.
These damn dwarves housing a bunch of
And-
monsters.
The dwarves had long since evacuated those ruins. They'd abandoned them. And the Minotaur decided this was going to be his house. You know, this was going to be his place.
They need to start
and
dynamiting their old minds.
And that because Minotaurs are not very common, they exist. People know about them.
It was like
They may have
we
seen.
literally.
Oh yeah, no wait, hang on.
We had
we've
one
Yeah,
Minotaur.
with
you-
us for
you-
a hot minute.
You've
so
seen them, but they're not super common. They're more common than tieflings. They're more common than Firbolg by far. They're more common than Harengon. But they are not, they're still relatively rare. Think about it like, I would say out of tieflings, Firbolgs, and Harengon are probably the more common of those, and they're still not very common. Minotaurs are probably, for every one heron gone, there's maybe 2 or 3 Minotaurs. So, they exist. They've been seen around. But this one in particular decided to take up residence in an abandoned dwarven ruins. And, well, he kind of got a reputation as being a little bit of an asshole and a greedy son of a bitch. As in the kind of southwestern portion of Korstal, about 400, 500 years ago, he decided that I like stuff. I'm going to take stuff from people, and I'm going to put that in my new house. And he started doing that. And he was pretty good at it. And he had some friends that helped him. They didn't necessarily live very long, but they helped him until they were no more use. That's what you remember about it.
This was 400 or 500 years ago?
It was a long time ago.
And the Tars
But-
don't live that long, do they?
No.
Okay.
But it
He's
was
long dead.
but it was a long time ago.
Unless he got some kind of magical means of staying alive for longer.
He's a level 20 druid.
So let me get this straight.
That's what you know about it.
We're going ahead and risking the lives of many off of an old story.
I can slap her again if you want.
And
No, I'm
she,
considering it.
she holds her hand up kind of pleadingly and says, "Look, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my grandfather were all looking for this forever. And this
how
is
many
the,
of them found it?
this is the map of the dungeon. I found it. I know where it is. It's 2 days away from here. And I know it's a long shot. But I believe it's true. And the treasure that is said to be there would be more than enough to help Kyver.
Inside.
Yeah, I was like, can I...
Insight check?
Yeah.
Insight, okay. Yeah, if you want to do an insight check, go ahead.
8.
22.
Okay. You're convinced. You think she's completely telling the truth.
Yep, solid.
Patch?
I'm giving her the squinty eyes right now. Like,
She believes what she says. She is 100% convinced that she believes that what she's saying is the truth.
I give her that squinty eye look for a little bit longer than I looked at Gold and say, it's only 2 days out of the way.
We've been
Even if she
traveling
was
for...
wrong.
You've been traveling for about 3.5 weeks. And you got about another 3.5 to get to Overshore. And she says, "Look, I know it's a long shot, but I don't have any contacts in Overshore."
We have a handwritten letter though, but it is
Right.
only 2 days out of the way.
But if it But
pays
honestly,
off, then
if-
that'd be pretty
If this
huge.
pays off, we could be back in Overshore in half the time we would be if we went, or back in Kyber in half the time if we went to Overshore.
I mean, ultimately, I'm not driving, so I don't give a shit.
Look.
But,
Regardless of the
And I
fact that
just want to
you-
prove my father was right.
Well, also, the gold alone ain't gonna help us right now. I don't think.
Oh, he
Treasure.
could.
it was
Yeah.
it was one of the 3 things
We
they
might
said they
be able
needed.
to use the treasure to help bribe
Or
people
purchase.
in Overshore.
I don't even think bribing's on the table for here.
Purchasing
We have
mini supplies.
that
and
letter
food.
from Councilman. I've got a contact in Overshore, or I can try.
You have a contact?
Not a
Yeah,
very
don't
useful
we all?
one, but I do. You know him.
Sure.
Look, I can guarantee that if I'm right, this will be more than enough. Way more than enough. My share alone, which I will happily give to Kyver, will be more than enough to repair what has been lost. And you'll each get your own.
And we do need some kind of a. I doubt they'll do this stuff for free, and they will need money for repairs. It might not be a bad idea to make a stop since we're already basically there.
I even have a way to carry everything. And she reaches into a side pouch, pulls something out, and goes, whoom, and this weird hole opens in the ground. It's almost like a felt fabric that she just throws out. That's a 10-foot diameter.
Hey,
And it
Persephone,
seems
you
to
should
be
jump
a
in there.
Alright.
deep pit.
I'll jump in the hole.
You jump in the hole. You
Close it
find,
quick.
you find yourself in this 10-foot diameter pit. And you're like, well, what the hell?
Is it empty?
It is currently empty.
Man, but what about that bag you got?
Nah, she's fine.
Oh, we're not creating black holes today.
No, we're not.
When were you planning on telling us about this
I
side
will
venture?
climb out.
Tomorrow.
I will climb out of the hole, by the way.
Okay. Tomorrow. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Uh,
mislead you.
Outside of the fact that you lied to us, you should have just been honest.
I know.
Oh, well, can't change the past. I see a potential fortune that awaits us within short travel, so let's do that.
Yeah,
What
I
other
agree.
choice do we have?
Not much.
All right.
Worst case scenario, we have a strong bargaining chip for overshore to help.
I pick up the portable hole.
Assuming.
Oh no,
this
she
works.
already grabbed it.
I guess worst case scenario, we get nothing, and we're 2 days behind.
And
Actually,
killed
worst
in a
case
dungeon.
scenario, we die.
That would be pretty awful.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to bed.
Okay. So who's got first watch?
Sure.
I'll take second watch.
Okay.
I will take third watch.
All right.
Gold's getting a fat snooze.
Gold has never taken watch, and he never will.
So
The most watchful.
nothing
of all
happens that
refuses to
evening.
watch.
Your watches are uneventful.
Yay! I rolled a 12 for nothing.
You guys, are you heading towards the potential treasure that she talks about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 days more travel. You actually, after the first day, veer off of the main highway and head south. You travel for an additional day. I need perception checks, remember.
Ooh,
15.
Dirty 20.
22.
18.
Okay. Leon and Gold.
God damn it.
You were close, but not quite.
I rolled
Suck
good
it
and
up.
it's still garbage.
Leon and Gold, as
Highest I rolled all fucking day.
you guys are traveling near the end of the day, when you're getting ready to make camp that day, you start to notice in the terrain around you, there are a few stones here and there that do not look like they are natural. They're most of the terrain and everything, it's very, this is old, very much overgrown and kind of reclaimed by nature. But you notice it's like, you know what? That doesn't seem like a natural stone. That seems like that was worked. But long time ago, because now it's mostly covered in grasses and stuff. I just happened to notice it kind of out of the corner of my eye and take an interest in it for a second or two. Long enough to figure out that, that may have been worked stone, not just a natural stone. And as you're continuing, you're seeing a couple more of those. Eventually, as you guys are preparing to actually make camp, Persephone, you notice next to the camp that, wow, wait a minute. That rock doesn't seem like it's actual natural rock. That seems like it might have been worked because it's just the shape of it. So all of you begin to start picking up on these things. You still haven't found a way into whatever these ruins are, or if they are actual ruins, or what's going on. But Grace keeps insisting that we're almost there. We're almost there. I promise it's got to be around here soon.
All of the rocks that look worked, do they happen to form a circle or something?
No, it's just random here and there. Okay. And it is now nighttime. So who's got first watch?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take second.
I guess I'll do the last one.
All right. Give me a perception check, Patch.
Dirty 20.
All right. On your watch, as you're sitting there, you begin to notice more of the stones as you kind of look around. Even though it's evening, it's starting, the sun is setting, it's starting to get dark, kind of like right at that point where the sun is about to set and dusk. You kind of notice, due to the shadows and things like that, oh wow, there's actually, if I kind of look across the landscape, there's quite a few stones here that don't look like they really should be here naturally. There's a pattern here.
We gotta be getting close to something.
Yeah, but other than that, there's nothing that really piques your interest during that night. Second watch. Roll your perception.
12.
12. As you're sitting there, it is now middle of the night. It is dark. You don't have dark vision, do you?
I'm a half elf. I do.
Half elf, okay. Oh, I thought half elves had low light.
No, that's a 3.5 thing.
Oh, okay. So you have, 60 foot?
Should be 60 foot. I'll double
Okay.
check.
So you,
Yep.
Can I see your little
you as you're sitting there, notice the same kind of pattern that Patch noticed, that there is more going on here. But other than that, you don't really pick up on anything unusual.
Okay.
Third watch, Persephone.
It doesn't have all the creatures. by the
That's
way.
fine. I know it has the one I need. It's a 13.
13. And you're 60 foot dark vision, right?
Which one are you looking for? It's a flying creature. It's towards the bag.
On the third watch, while you are sitting there looking
I don't know
about,
which one you're after.
you also notice that there is some kind of pattern of the stones.
Alright, can I turn into... It's either going to be a giant eagle or a giant vulture, just based on whichever
a
one
giant
has...
owl.
Or I guess owl. Yeah, owl. There we go. Dark vision.
Nighttime, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, based on the
An
stats
owl?
of which I was trying
Okay.
to look at, yeah. Giant owl, because I got the 120 feet of dark vision. So,
Okay, excellent.
I'm gonna fly up and see if the pattern spells something out or
Okay.
something.
What languages do you
Dungeon
speak?
Abyssal, Common, and Infernal.
Okay,
I actually thought about that as a joke. It's just spelled out.
give me an intelligence check. Straight intelligence.
As the owl, I would imagine.
No, this is Persephone.
Okay. 6.
6? Okay.
Very smart.
There is some pattern here. You're not able to suss it out.
Can I, when I come back down, draw it out to see if anyone else can figure it out?
Yeah, you
What
can
did
draw
you
it
say
out,
was
but everyone else
Persephone?
is sleeping.
No, I know. For when I
Because
get
you
up.
use polymorph, right?
Yeah,
So that would be straight up the stats of the creature.
I just allowed her to.
It's still like I say.
DM
either
call,
way.
I
It's still garbage.
Okay.
Wouldn't have checked
I rolled a
anything.
5, so.
Oh.
So in the morning, you all wake up. Persephone has drawn something out on the ground.
Does this mean anything to anyone?
What languages do you all speak?
Common, Elven, Dwarven.
Okay, Leon, what about you?
Common, Elvish, Undercommon.
Gold?
Abyssal, Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
Patch. That's Dwarven.
Oh.
You know that. And it
Al, back at my village, taught me to speak and read.
and it says clearly.
It just says the word clearly.
No,
Huh.
Clearly, you don't know.
no. It says clearly. Looking at it, you're like, I know exactly what that is.
Oh, boy.
It clearly says, looking at that, it says actually a small phrase because of the way the stones are kind of placed out. Persephone actually was able to, in her owl form, she actually saw a clear pattern and she traced it out very well. Looking at it, it says, continue on to our stronghold, but only if you are worthy.
I'm worried.
It said all that when you flew up?
Oh, it just said fucking rocks, man.
What a project.
The thing
Some
is,
tall dwarves.
you would know looking at it.
And I
It's
passed
actually only like 6 symbols that represent
what
that.
it means, yeah.
Yeah, that represent what it means.
Dwarves got a weird language.
Yeah, well, I know I'm worthy, so let's continue.
Well, I don't know if I'm worthy, but I do know we need what's in there, so I don't know if I care if a mean Minotaur guy thinks I'm worthy or not.
Okay. So you continue on?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. As you continue on, Grace is still kind of leading you based on her understanding of things. I need perception checks from everyone.
Ooh, another 15.
14.
11.
6.
Patch. Because you speak Dwarven, as you're carrying on for another 3/4 of the day,
Jesus Christ.
it is you know, Grace keeps saying, no, we're supposed to be there. We're supposed to be there. Just a little further, a little further. You keep pushing.
I
But
need to have my
about-
doubts towards her.
Yeah, but about 3/4 of the way through the day, Patch, you notice one of those kind of odd stones that just does not quite seem natural. It just catches your attention, and you kind of walk over to it, pushing aside some of the overgrowth, some of the flora that is kind of covered over it. Dwarven writing exists on it. And you look at it, and it says, prove your worth and enter.
I'm going to read that out loud as I'm like, prove your worth and enter. Huh. Enter where exactly? I look around for some kind of entrance.
Okay.
Maybe it'll open up after we do something?
I think it's a euphemism.
For?
An innuendo.
I'd like to also help him with like an
For gay
investigation check to
So,
some
so
Everything
kind of
is
mechanism
clear.
involved.
excuse me.
You're gonna
So
assist
someone
what?
wants to do an investigation? Who's going to investigate?
Not
I'm going to assist
me.
him on an investigation.
I'm not gonna
Logan.
do shit.
14.
And that was with advantage because he assisted you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
those
takes you
three and a
about
12.
It takes you another 30 minutes or so as you guys are looking around. But Gold, with Patch's help, you eventually come across one of the other stones moving aside some of the vegetation that has grown across it. And there is an odd-shaped depression on it. And as soon as you reveal that, Grace goes, oh, this is it. Oh my God, this is it. And she reaches into a pouch on her hip and she pulls out a brass-looking device. It's a kind of a small box, but hexagonal shape, about 2 inches thick and about 2 inches in diameter. She takes that and she twists it, and when she twists it, spikes come out of it at odd angles. And when you look at like the shape that creates, it matches exactly to the shape that's in the stone.
It's a
Now
key.
I'm questioning her. Like, how on earth did you find this and the key that went with it?
But my grandfather found this.
I mean, that adds up. That's also where the map came from. So.
And she sticks it on there and turns. As soon as she does that, the ground before you, probably about 10 feet away from you, begins to split and slide away with a grinding sound of stone. And as it does that, a stairwell is revealed that leads down into darkness.
God, I fucking hate caves.
Away we go.
Well, here we go.
Leon, let's take a point.
Yo.
I don't have dark vision,
Yeah, it was
so
like,
I'm going to
who
light some
can't-
kind of
Who can't see in the dark?
I think only Patch. 'Cause
my
I think,
lantern
yeah.
and carry it down in there.
All right. I'm pretty sure Tomer also has dark
Okay, he's
vision.
a fucking werewolf.
So
orky.
he's an orc, which
I'm the
yeah.
weak link.
Yeah, Patch is the only one who doesn't.
Fuck
have
all of
What
your dark
has
visions.
changed?
Yeah. So you begin to go down these stairs. They take a long time. You are going down and down and down. And even with 60-foot dark vision, you continue to see that the stairs just keep continuing down. After about an hour
An hour of steps?
of walking down,
Holy shit. This is going to be an awful time going back up.
you finally see what looks like a floor at the bottom of the steps, and a small chamber, and then some doors. Those doors are gigantic double doors.
Something I'd like to add is I am very sketched out by this, so I am searching for traps or.
Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
Nope. But I am keeping
So
a sharp eye out as best I can.
you
for
can try to
anything that
search for
looks off.
traps, but you have no knowledge of how traps are set. So
I'm just looking for things like little strings or pressure plates,
yeah,
stuff that I can see.
yeah, but
I may
you're
not know how to do anything.
right. Your understanding of those things is very limited, and so your odds of actually seeing anything is almost nil.
I'm sure, like, and even the most basic person would understand how more basic traps work. If it's
Right,
something
but-
more severe than
But
that,
game mechanics wise, in order to do things.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
shut up then.
yeah. So, as you are continuing down, you finally get to the bottom of these steps, and you see before you, they are probably 10, 12 feet tall, maybe even a little more.
Aren't you?
The set of double doors that stands before you. One side of those is completely broken down and fallen in. And
That's not
other
the
than
doors?
whatever light that you've got,
Yeah, just my little oil lantern.
okay, other than that oil lantern, there is barely any light.
Alright, I will touch Patch's armor.
Okay?
Light.
Okay, so now you have light coming off of your arm.
Just like-
Okay.
Helping.
Now, as
Thank you.
however, you now have before you these giant double doors, one side of which has been completely busted down and is fallen down, the other side is still up. This is where you are.
Alright, well, I'm not pushing that other one, so I vote we go through the open door.
I didn't think we needed to vote. I just continue walking.
Okay.
So repeat that. We got one door that's open, one door that isn't.
One door that is fallen down,
Yeah, like
and the other is closed. Ish. I mean, it's closed in the closed position, but it's not necessarily latched. You don't know.
Do these doors look strong?
They do. They are solid stone. And as you look at it, because one is fallen, you can see the thickness of it. There, it is probably about a foot and a half thick, solid stone.
Is that not
Well
concerning
worked.
anyone else?
Well worked, very intricate design. Clearly in dwarven style that you would know
Yeah.
based on your understanding of the dwarven language.
Yeah, those don't just fall down on their own.
you know, with all the overgrowth, I have to say, I'm pretty sure this door would have come down a long time ago. I don't think we have to worry about what's inside having
Door
broken down
that
that
thick
door.
just from overgrowth?
No, I'm not saying that the overgrowth took down the door. I'm saying whatever took down that door had to have done it a long time ago, seeing as how long it's been since I'm.
Oh, is there a bunch of plant life over it?
Down here, you see no plants, except for maybe
Up top, remember everything's covered in junk.
maybe if
Oh.
a little bit of moss here and there, maybe some fungus as well, but other than that, it's really just bare stone.
Well, you make a good point that it might have been a long time ago, but maybe whatever did it hasn't left.
Maybe.
Well,
Only one way to
Something
find
big
out.
went
Though.
this way, and that's all I know.
I take it the Minotaur.
Sounds very reasonable to me.
Maybe, I guess I haven't seen a Minotaur, but the Minotaur we saw I don't think they'd be strong enough to knock down a door of that.
This is a Minotaur of legend, after all.
That's fair.
Not like the weak one who needed our help.
Damn.
Damn. Sorry, Gabe. Get fucked.
Yeah, you already did. We had to save his ass.
Shit. Alright, well, if everyone wants to go through the open door, I'm game.
Well, hear me out here. They're on the same doorway, right? One's caved in.
Yeah, it's a set of
it's not
double
two
doors.
separate
Yeah,
paths?
it's the same fucking
it-
entryway.
It's a set of double doors.
Why are we even
So, like,
pretending
two-
there's a
like,
choice
two
there?
I
doors
have
that
no
would-
idea. That's why I made
Here.
the joke saying I think I vote for the door that's open.
Yeah, two doors that would open like this. One of them is just collapsed, fall down. The other one is still there.
I figured that was just a testament to how lazy Percy is.
Well, I mean, also yes, but it was that's our only option.
It's just
so
critical
I'm
role
not.
simulation. Doors are scary.
There you go.
Well, yeah, obviously we'll go through the open door.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, the other door, is it a push or a pull?
They are pushed. They open outward from you, so
Okay.
inward to the space beyond you.
Just stating my curiosity. We're going in.
Okay.
I go on in.
So as you enter in, when you cross the threshold, the only light before was from Patch, from his lantern, and then from Percy casting light on his armor. But when you cross the threshold, it's as if there was some kind of veil that was blocking all light. And now, what you see in front of you is this long hallway. And down this hallway, on either side, there are tapestries lining it. And behind the tapestries, they seem to be illuminated by braziers, giving an eerily bluish-green light. Not the normal yellow light
Looks like
that you would get from fire, but more of an arcane energy that is creating light. Something that may have been around since the time of the dwarves, you don't know. It could be something that is ancient and been there forever, or it could be something recent. You're not sure. But you see this, and you see 4 large tapestry-like rugs on the floor in front of you. And in fact, let's see if I can actually do this for you guys. I don't think I can because it's all kind of jacked up.
All kerfuckled.
Yeah, all kerfuckled. And I know I can't necessarily do it for
Stream.
the stream because of all the fun BS that is going on. But as far as controlling it for sure, I definitely can't do that. Let's see
We
here.
could always save it for next time.
Yeah, and I probably will. But I'm going to make sure that at least... Let's see, hopefully that's the right password.
I didn't realize your password was "my mom is hot."
No, it's your mom is hot.
See, I'm bad at counting letters.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can get this.
It was
here.
your spelled you-are.
Fair
Your
enough.
mom was.
this, and let's see.
No, you. Good God. Mom. The rock bounced entertainingly. Oh, I didn't realize they actually rolled dice at the intro here.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Bloop. She. Bloop.
Pardon the interruption for a second. I'm trying to get this all set for y'all.
Hi, honeypot. Bye,
I was
honeypot.
like, man, that's an
Fat
interesting looking cavern.
The honeypot got teleported into this mine.
Good God. It's just a bunch of honeypots strung together.
These fiends.
Like some...
Infinite honeypot. Could
Oh.
life exist in the infinite McDonald's?
Yes.
Dang it, where'd it go?
That's dark.
Ocean.
I'm starting to think the dwarves are like the
Ocean
Australians of this world because everything they build is upside down.
God damn it. You know, I'm starting to think that this is a larger dungeon than we anticipated.
I know this map.
No, you don't. You know nothing.
Stop him before he metagames again.
Again.
Silence him! Whack, whack! There's a whole lot of water in this dwarven cave. I thought dwarves didn't like water.
Well, the water doesn't have anywhere to go if it leaks in from when it rains, you know? It just drains down into the mine.
It just fucking floods this place. All the dwarves are evolved
That's
to be
where the-
aquatic.
They evolved.
Where the fuck are my aquatic
Greetings,
dwarves?
land dwellers.
Okay, so,
Queso?
yes,
Hmm.
you
Okay, so
are right here in this area,
dun, 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 dun.
and what you see as you look down is you see several tapestries, and you see that light, kind of a bluish green light, coming from behind the tapestries that you can kind of get a glimpse of it. You're standing there. There looks to be some kind of weird braziers, and those braziers are giving off this bluish green light, which those of you that are proficient in Arcana,
You would think I am.
I think Leon is.
Again,
Or
I'm not
at least you're jack of all trades.
track mech, so I am.
But you
Jack.
understand that, okay, that is probably magical, not necessarily like a physical flame. And that could have been around here since,
Yesterday.
the dwarves, dug out this entire area. Or it could have been recent. You don't know. But you do know that it is something that delves in the arcane as far as the light source. It is a magical light source.
Alright.
And you look down that pathway, and what you see is definitely a long, drawn-out hall. It is large. I mean, you look across it, and the distance across this is probably...
40, 50.
Oh, more than that. This right here is 30. So that is probably 60 to 70 feet across. And then looking down it, that right there is probably a couple hundred feet distance. It is illuminated by these magical braziers. You can notice that up on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, there seems to be some kind of break in the consistency of where the magical braziers are. You can't see it quite yet, but you think maybe those are pathways, because it's like, oh, the braziers go like this and the tapestries go like this, but there seems to be some kind of distance between this one and down further, maybe there's passageways off to the side.
Yeah.
You can also see off in the distance, due to the illumination that's provided, that there are another set of double doors way off in the distance, but you also can see from here, there looks to be a lot of debris, stone and rubble, that might be in front of those. And as soon as you get here and walk past this threshold and see all this, Grace is just ecstatic. She says, "My father was right. This is it. This is it. We're here."
I simply take my finger up to her lips.
Sorry.
We don't know if there's anything in here yet.
She pulls her axe off her back. A great axe, which is almost as big as her, off her back. And she smiles. She had her rosy cheeks kind of, and she says,
Oh, this is the kill happy one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
she's a barbarian.
Okay.
And she says,
Yeah, there's our replacement tank.
It's okay. I'll keep you safe.
Counting on it.
Okie dokie.
Gold is low-key loving that. Leon, let's take point. As I get my bow
Sword.
prepared.
Hand for spell casting.
Just a fucking Glock. That's my spellcasting
Young
focus.
Leon, at it
Okay.
again. I cast bullet.
so you begin to move forward? Okay. As you are moving forward, you encounter the first kind of rug. You can see it in your in the screen there. You encounter the first rug. Okay, you can kind of see right through here. So as you get to that first large rug and start walking along it, what is your marching order?
I'm
It said
last.
you two were taking points, so which of you two is first, or are you side by side?
I'll be first because I'm technically a little bit tankier, I think.
I think I'm tankier than both of you by a country mile. I got 3 lives
Well,
and 18 AC.
Fair enough, but
I think I have big dick energy, so I'm going to be next to Leon.
Okay, so you two are going to be ahead. How far ahead of the others in the group are you?
10 feet.
Yeah, not far.
10 feet? Okay, so you two are 10 feet behind. Do you want to be further back than that, or do you want to be that
I'll
distance?
probably be about 20 feet behind whoever's at the end.
Whoever's at the end.
Like, I'm the very last.
Okay,
of
so are
the-
you going to be the 10 feet behind the
I
Vanguard?
suppose.
Okay. Grace will be with you. She'll be right side by side with you.
Alright, sounds good.
And Tomer is there. So he's
He's
probably
there, too.
right there with you two as well. Okay. And then you're 20 feet behind that. So you're 30 feet from the vanguard of the group. You two, as you're going along.
I imagine Gold and Leon
Gold.
are trying to like outpace each other to be in the lead.
Yeah. Gold,
No, me.
give me a dexterity
Pumping their
save.
chest out.
A deck save.
Mhm.
I think he's kind of good at those.
I am, but I rolled for shit, so 10.
10. Okay. As you two are walking along, you're going along this carpet. About the middle of the carpet, Gold, when you step down,
This is a fucking cave in.
you hear click,
Shoot.
and two little darts shoot out from behind the tapestry on the right, slam into you, and you end up taking 9 points of poison damage. You're not
That's just-
poisoned,
I
but
knew
you
it.
take poison damage.
That's not very nice, Jason. You aren't supposed to hurt me yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you should.
You already
know
hurt
You
me
shouldn't have rolled so
emotionally.
low.
But I had a feeling
With
that there was a...
Damn it, these dice.
Some kind of trap around.
That's nice.
Can I just yell at all of them, tell them to get off the carpets?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I low-key want to step on the stone and then click, 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 click.
So what do you guys do?
Just move off the carpets.
Okay, you move off the carpet. You continue moving forward. After you get past the second carpet and start moving past the third one, about halfway through, now you have clear line of sight. And you can see at the second carpet, you can see at the end of the second carpet, there is a pathway to the right. There are braziers lining the pathway. They are all lit up. You can also see ahead to the left. There is a pathway to the left. And you catch the glimpse of an incline of stairs. It is also lit, as you can see the edge of braziers there, and they are all lit up.
Let's ask Nap Girl.
You can also see the far wall. And on that far wall, where those double doors are, you are now much closer to it, and there is debris and rubble all around there. The doors are intact, but they are practically buried under rubble. Perhaps it is something you could attempt to get through. Maybe not. You're not sure. It would be something that you would have to decide. So you are now basically left with some choices. Do you go to the right? Do you go to the left? Do you attempt to try to find a way through the double doors? Or do you do something completely different and unexpected of your choice?
I see.
I
Grace,
get up
didn't
and
you
I
have
leave.
some kind of map to this? Or was it a map to the dungeon? I thought I heard you say it was a map of the dungeon.
She did.
She pulls out the map. Do you guys take a look at the map?
No, I do not.
I'm right next to her, so I have no reason not to.
I'm staying alert for our surroundings. I'll let them look at the map.
As she pulls out the map, you look at it. Looking at it, it appears to be two things. In the upper left quadrant of the map, it seems to be a kind of a map of topography of an area. Looking at it and kind of what you've experienced, that portion seems to be kind of helping figure out where in the world. You also see notes written in the lower left quadrant and the upper right quadrant, handwritten notes in multiple different handwriting. Perhaps her grandfather, her great-grandfather, her grandfather, her father, herself, who knows? But little notes here and there, some look like coordinates, some look like calculations, but that all shows different things. And finally there is, one that looks very pretty handwriting, in very, calligraphy style. You can kind of assume that, that's probably Grace's handwriting. Because it seems to be at the bottom of everything, and it's older
The
handwriting.
most recent,
Yeah,
Her
the most
father
recent.
had very fancy handwriting. You just underestimated.
He did.
Her
He
grandpa
did,
was
but
the Minotaur. That's how she got the key.
he did. But this seems to be the most recent handwriting, and you guys are smart. Yeah, you guys are smart enough to figure out that if she did add anything, that was probably it, because it seems to be kind of like where everything's located. That would be the most recent. And then there's the lower right quadrant. In there is a very crude sketch of what you can only assume is supposed to be this dungeon. Looking at that, there is a line that appears to have doors at one end, doors at another end. a line coming to the right from it, and a line a little bit further down going to the left. The line from the right has some branches off of it, but it seems to have question marks on there and a note that says Key 1. The branch to the left says further pathway Key 2 question mark.
Guess we go right then first.
I'm going to ask her what that means. There's
Okay.
multiple keys.
Well, from what my grandfather discovered, my father was sure that he was right, but from what my grandfather discovered, he said that in order to access the actual treasure room, which is somewhere down here, and she points to some other like squiggles off of different things, there's a lot of little statements with question marks by them here and there. It's obvious that there were more theories than fact because no one knew. But she says, from what my grandfather said, that there's going to be multiple keys needed in order to progress through this dungeon because, well, Minotaurs are kind of dicks.
Noted.
They seem to be a fan of mazes and stuff, and if they didn't make it themselves or had a maze made for them, they have to complicate things. So I think this is all, if I understand right from my great-grandfather's writing, and what my grandfather hypothesized from that this used to be a dwarven stronghold. And that a Minotaur took over. And once he took over, he put safeguards in place. Because it was already built, he couldn't really make it a maze anymore, but he put safeguards in place to make it more difficult to get through.
How
So-
draconian of him.
Well, yeah. But it's okay, we're gonna do it fine. I promise.
The dog agrees.
Yeah.
We're gonna be just fine.
All right. Well, do you have any idea where we should start headed first, or does it matter?
Key 1 sounds better than Key 2. 1's the first number.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, but where?
Right.
That's,
To the right?
That's the
That was already
pathway to the
established?
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll go.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you begin to head to the right.
Hey, I want to say,
Yes.
I think we should probably save the actual exploration of the dungeon starting off for later for next session.
It is already 10.
Yeah.
So it has
Oh, I know.
about
I know.
3
We're
hours.
we're getting there. I'm about to end it soon.
Okay. Just putting that up there.
I'm going to end it soon. I
Gotcha.
just get
You have so much left to live for. Don't.
Blurry, blurry.
Okay.
Darn depth of field.
Depth of
Yeah.
field.
Field of Dew.
Field of Foom.
I want you
No.
to want me. I
Okay,
need you
so
to need me.
you all have chosen to go down the path to the right, which is the closest one. And as you are avoiding the rugs, you seem to go around the outside. You don't have any further problems. And you finally start making your way down these steps until you get down to the bottom of the steps, where you find a very interesting platform.
One.
This platform has a fountain upon it. The fountain is flowing a supremely clear-looking water that has a slight blue tinge to it, a little bit of a glow.
It's Fiji water.
It could be. It could be
It's
Fiji.
fancy.
or Voss water or something. But it's this fountain is perpetually flowing. You don't see any source for it other than its own reservoir. Who knows how the mechanism works? But it is constantly flowing. It is a very intricate design. And looking at it, Patch in particular, because you understand Dwarvish language, you kind of have an idea of Dwarvish mentality, their design, and stuff like that. This is clearly of Dwarvish make. This was something that was probably built when this whole place was built as a dwarven stronghold. Looking at it, the motifs on it are dwarven gods, hammers, as well as, this is everything you can think about the atypical dwarf. This fountain exemplifies it. And is flowing beautifully. Even after hundreds of years of potentially being abandoned. The chamber itself is a very decent sized chamber. It is probably about 70 feet in diameter, 70, 80 feet, somewhere around there. Very large. The ceilings are about 20 foot to 30 foot tall. More of a dome. And there is a pathway leading to the left and a pathway leading to the right. Unfortunately, on Grace's map, all it says again is key 1. It doesn't really know which way to go.
Cheese the maze by only taking left turns.
That's always an option.
And Chocobo fountain.
Go left.
Is that what you all want?
I don't care.
You just
Left
keep the
is
wall
fine.
to our left at all times, and eventually we will.
Okay, so if you want to go to the left, that is fine.
Except we've already taken the right, so we already failed.
You begin to travel down the left passage. As you make your way down this, it is completely dark with the exception of the light coming off of Patch's armor and the fact that the rest of you have dark vision, so you're able to see ahead. At the end of this hallway, looking through, you all see a little bit of a glow. And as you enter the chamber here, this glow seems to be coming from some kind of lichen or moss that is growing upon the walls of this cavern, giving off a small bit of light, low light, if you will. So, Patch, you can see okay in here, especially with your light.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of you with dark vision, yeah, it's really no problem. You can see out to the extent of your dark vision. And what you see in here, however, as you move into this cavern, is there are lots of rocks out and about around. This is a very natural-looking cavern, except for one thing. Here. There is a square platform. Everything else seems natural. This is obviously made by someone. It is worked. Because nowhere in nature would there be a perfectly square platform. The platform seems to be resting in what looks like a pool of green, slightly glowing and bubbling liquid.
Mountain Dew.
There are 2 of such pools, and there are stones everywhere. Looking ahead at this, you do see, leading up to the platform, there is a potential pathway across some stones, if you do not wish to get yourself into whatever this liquid is, which would require a little bit of athletics or acrobatics to do so, but it exists.
Everyone give me a perception check.
Okay, joking.
11.
Ooh, 26.
15.
13.
Okay.
You see nothing. Damn it.
15 or higher.
Nope.
I know you got it, and you got it. Okay. You both notice at the center of this odd, obviously crafted platform within this pool of liquid, there is a stone that is glowing. Other than that, that's all you know.
Is there any I guess I could take part of the plant, the moss.
Do you guys point out the stone?
Well, yeah.
Can I mage hand it?
You can always try.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. You attempt to mage hand it, and it seems to be above the weight limit with which mage hand can do.
That's all I got, boys.
We're about to get Indiana Jones as you move it, and the thing starts collapsing.
Walking up towards the shore of the green pool of liquid,
Mm-hmm.
how far does the platform seem to be away from me?
Looking at it, you are probably about 30 feet away.
Okay.
And there are a couple stones in there. You can see one here and one here. That the stones are probably about 10 feet away from each other. And it looks like if someone wanted to use those as a pathway, they could. They would just have to either athletics or acrobatics to get across them without falling into the liquid if they wanted to avoid the liquid.
I want to take a piece of cloth out of my bag or something, anything, and just kind of put it in the liquid and see what happens.
Okay? That cloth dissolves like a motherfucker.
Polymorph.
Don't.
Into an acid fish.
I'm
I'm
tired, man.
I would like to
I'm
just
so
misty
fucking
step onto the
tired.
platform.
You're going to misty step onto the platform?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Gold uses misty step and ends up on the corner of the platform. As he does, these two rocks...
They just thorn whipped it.
Come on.
There's 30 foot just to get to the platform, not even get to the center.
But
Unless Thorn
Why
was
is it
like
not giving
50.
me the light?
it's
There we
30
go.
feet.
There you go. These two rocks, this one, and this giant boulder,
Anime.
move towards you. And that is where we'll end for tonight as you will roll for initiative next session as oozes come towards you. So thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time. Unfortunately, we didn't have all our tech stuff, so I couldn't control everything as nicely as I wanted and put the characters on there and all that. But thank you for joining us. The Blue Devils and Grace are now in the Dungeons of the Minotaur. And, well, let's see what happens next week.
I thought this game was called Dungeons and Dragons, not Dungeons and Minotaurs.
Yeah,
What if it
well,
was?
shit happens. So thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next week, and hope you had a good time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.